not, come in and hit somebody in the back of the head.
Yeah, I think there was a misinterpretation, I don't think we actually were trying to take over your country. I think...
Yeah. You know what I mean? We like peace. We don't want nobody come here and do nothing. We like to stay in the corner and watch what's going on from far. Yeah, I just called our Prime Minister. Of course. Yeah. I didn't say
Watch yourself for that. Like, that's how his responsibility. Hey, I hear when you say it. I see it, I can up.
I can message a couple of
Welcome to the Edson Breedy Experience.
All right. Welcome to episode 12 of the Edson Breedy Experience. I'm here with Charlo Alfonso.
What's up?
And Joshua Garcia. As well as Kamada Peters, of course.
Hello.
So thanks so much, guys, for coming out. We have a lot to talk about. So I met Charlo a few weeks ago. When I found out he was also going to be doing his first kickboxing fight at RABZ. And we're here with Joshua Garcia, who is I'm going to call you the CEO of the main promoter, the promoter of the RABZ promotion series. And I thought your story sounded really interesting. We needed to talk about it because I think I saw you backstage.
Yeah.
Before or after your fight. No, it was before your fight. And you you had been training for 2 months or 3 months before the fight. And I'm sure my eyes open. I was like, nah, he about to fight. I was like, oh, cool.
I get in trouble for that.
You did great. You had a really good first fight. And you were training with Joshua. I'm sure Joshua need to make sure he knows he's putting you out there prepared. So Joshua also, besides being a promoter, he was also Charlo's coach. Yeah. So I wanted to find out how did you decide to start doing kickboxing and also decide to compete?
Truthfully, I had this idea for content a while back where I just wanted to call it Charlo Challenges.
Okay.
Where I wanted to just immerse myself in some other professionals' thing.
Yeah.
And not necessarily compete, but just like go up against them or just do what they're doing and see how best I could actually do it. And it's based on the things that I just love. And Josh and I we were out. Where were we? It was
we were in XIV.
We were in XIV in our club suits. It was literally a rock club suits. The whole mosh pit and thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think I started shadowboxing Josh. I started hitting him in the club. I was like, dog, I want to fight, boy.
Yeah, he was drunk and he was gas.
I say, horse, I want to fight. And he was like, bro, I will personally train you if you come and fight. So I said, say bet. Like, I don't back down from anything.
Right.
And I say, one, I drunk enough and I stupid enough to dive in. I want to fight now. And he said, all right, let me do it.
When was this?
That was late last year.
That was before RABZ.
Okay.
Yeah, it was before. But I had like Parang and Pan and Panorama and all them things coming up. So he was like, when Carnival done, check me. So I said, what? I want to fight. And we shook on it. We took a picture. Because I was like, yo, if I shake your hand, I'm doing this for real. And the next brethren is there gassing it up and was like, you can't back out now. And I'm like, I don't back out from nothing. We shook on it. I woke up the next day and watched the picture and I was like,
oh no.
So what did I do?
Why do what?
That's look, you were shook on it too. I was like, this man, he can't even back out. I have public proof. This is contract right there.
Josh
They posted it too.
Yeah, Josh is gassing it. And I am there like, yeah, I did. And life just started happening. And we would keep talking. He was like, yo, when you ready to start training? I said, yeah. So and so going
real
on.
sticker.
No, it sounds like you have real things to do. I mean,
honestly, it went from Parang straight into, right? So I teach as well. So I had like school bands. I was drilling and rehearsing, and then school, and then my own band to drill, and then my own band to play in, and then Moko Jumbies for Carnival. Too much was going on. But I still didn't want to back out because I was like, this making got me real fun.
So, I mean, I didn't introduce Charlo because everybody I've mentioned Charlo's name too, already knows Charlo. There's nobody there's nobody
guy,
there's
a very
nobody
popular
that I've
guy.
mentioned the name to, and they just like, who's
that?
who are you talking about?
Like,
Like,
Charlo.
yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so Charlo has been really influential in terms of music, Trinidadian culture. He has his own band that focuses mostly on Kaiso music, Jaiso,
Yeah, jazz and kaiso.
right? And he also so he teaches music as well as teaches Moko Jambi. Well, he does Moko Jambi training, still
Still
talking.
working there.
Right. I think you have a camp coming up soon.
Yes, we have a camp coming up in July. Venue to be announced, but it's going to be run from July 6th to the 30th.
All right. And it's for all ages. How?
Ages 6 to, let's say, 16. Yeah.
Okay. So now, when you decided to start training with all these things these other things you're trying to do, how often did you get to train? And when did you actually start training? When was the first training session where you pull up and...
If Carnival ended, March? I think I came somewhere about the end of March. Like a week after Carnival. And it would have been maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And as we got closer, is when I started coming like maybe 4. I think the most I might have made it like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was still trying, like, if I'm not by Josh, I would still go and like run, try and make sure I'm skipping, try and shadow box, still do all the things that he's telling me to do. Real reluctantly, but like, because I reach home like 2, 3 in the morning.
Right.
My roommate have a video of me, is 3:30. We just come from the avenue, but didn't get to train. So I couldn't go by Josh. But I end up, I was out.
I only had somebody video skipping or something.
It's 3:30 in the morning. I was like, I have real energy. And I was like, nah, I don't want to get beat up though. I want to train.
Yeah, he was struggling to balance it.
As you mentioned, being on the avenue. So I know you're a very social guy, right? It's a social butterfly, right? So when you mentioned to me that you were training for 2 months to compete at RABZ, and my first thoughts was, when? Like, what time of day does this man train? Because I know that you are doing all these different things. Like, what was the biggest challenge I would ask incorporating training into your daily schedule?
Of course, just showing up. That was the hardest part.
What time you think you would like was your most ideal time for training?
The most ideal was like between 8 to 10
In the morning?
in the night.
Oh.
But he used to switch every week, Every week he started 1 week 8 to 10. Then he used to come be like, hey, I can come 4 o'clock this week. Hey, I can come 6 o'clock this week.
Right.
And I would shift around my schedule just because I know what was going on. What was going on with him,
Like I would leave school, because if school finishes, I leave school by 3. I might have some kind of meeting at like 5. If that get postponed, I'm like, cool. I know I want to get a nap before this event later. So let me take a nap a quick hour and then just go training. Or I should stay in school, sleep in my car somewhere near Josh's house, or sleep wherever I am.
Yeah.
And then just
How old are you?
28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, but
He's
what
wondering
saved
how
him
much
too is
energy.
what saved him too is that he has actually like naturally a little. He is gifted when it like comes to his physicality. In fact,
Okay.
he does have.
In terms of what would be the gifts?
But I think I would assume because of his tilt walking, his legs are strong. I think the thing that took the longest for me to acclimatize myself to in fighting was that my legs would always give out underneath me now. But that never happened with him.
Like you'd feel too tired to move around the ring?
Yeah, like if it is you're practicing proper technique, you have to use your legs more than you use your hands in boxing and kickboxing, because your footwork is everything. And I have videos of me when I like my first year starting, I would always just like fall down from exhaustion from fighting and all that. And then
Like after? What do you mean?
Like junior rungs and thing, yeah.
Okay.
You see me sparring with people and like I just say, nah, I can't go anymore, and my legs are just kind of.
I felt like falling off several
And I did
times.
training.
In training a couple of times, and even in the match. Yeah, but by
And
the,
I assume you didn't experience that because of Taekwondo legs.
Yeah, but my shoulder burns a lot. Like I'm
The opposite
quite surprised.
to you.
Yeah, my lead hand.
You
Like
rotate a cup.
no, like the whole deltoid. there's so much lactic acid build up. Like when I'm on pad work, if I'm doing 3 minutes, I'm very surprised. But yeah, it's definitely it's not real.
When you now start fight sports, your legs are the first thing that has to get accustomed. Your lead hand for sure, your shoulder, and your jaw. Because I think it would happen to you already. Like if I were to hit you or somebody hit you hard enough in your jaw would be real.
The first time I stepped in a ring was against
oh gosh, who is this?
Malik. Yeah. Cause they were like, all right, Malik is the closest to Samuel.
So I had to bring him to Rough House at least once to try and get in some training with some guys because you can only do so much training with me in my my driveway.
That boy.
He had 1 day of sparring.
He had 2.
Well, outside of me, he went to
okay. So you okay. So he went to Golden Fist once and Rough House once.
Yeah, and he got his ass beat real bad in Rough House.
Yeah. Malik hit me. That boy.
He didn't give it no.
But this was your first day of sparring.
No,
that was my only time fighting somebody.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't him, and that was within my
weight
class. Because the first time Golden Fist, it was a youth man. He was like 16. He was still hitting me.
Yeah.
Because his technique, he was boxing real long. But like his technique was real good. And he, like while I'm trying to like focus and do all the right things,
he's relaxing and
he's hitting me, but it wasn't hurting her.
Yeah.
But still the coach was like, hey, remember that's a youth man. Watch your power.
Yeah, that's be a confusing thing.
He said, watch your power. And then he watched him and was like, yeah.
Crack. Go outside as good. Yeah.
I have a question. Because as you just said, it wasn't hurting. I understand when you want to land a strike, you want it to be as impactful as possible. However, is it really that important to hurt the other person or to land the strike? Because the point is given whether you hurt them or not, right? Is if you land.
So that's exactly what I try to explain to many fights. I don't try and like kill the fella.
So for me,
and then it takes a lot of energy too to put that force behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like I just explained it so many times, and I think I'm hearing the words.
Yeah.
But even in training, I would try to like be relaxed. He would say, a real tense, a real stiff, and obviously there's a natural fear of just getting hit.
Yeah.
And then he was hitting me real hard too, and I would be like, all right, cool. I think I'm getting accustomed to it, and he would be like, yo, just.
It takes a lot of rounds to be okay getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taking a long time. It's take a while. Usually, I mean,
I think there was a day I feel like I felt it. He was frustrated.
Joshua?
Yeah. It was in one of the videos where a real stiff, it real close to RABZ. I'm moving like I'm doing the right things, but I'm not looking too good. And he was like, bro, you're too afraid to get hit. Matter of fact, he's like, just defend. And he just started hitting.
Right.
And he was like, take the lash. It not hitting you. It not hitting you. And
I have another question. You ever get hit and get vexed with him?
With him?
Probably.
No. Honestly, I think because he's my brethren.
Right.
Like malice behind the hits, you know that.
Yeah, there wasn't. It wasn't like oh God.
I don't know. I kind of different. So I went to my little thing in I'm not no big kickboxer, right? But I do my little training every once in a while. But when somebody hit me, I just trip. I just get mad.
No.
Especially if they land it in my face. If you hit me in my face and you land it clean, I just get motivated to come at you a little bit harder.
Please get vexed at yourself or vexed at the next person.
I don't know who I vexed is I vexed. I just want to hit you a little bit harder.
Yeah. No, I think for me it was like I signed up for this now.
Yeah.
I look in for the vibes.
Yeah.
And I put myself here. So if he hit me, for my first thought was, damn, probably shouldn't put your face there.
Yeah. Defense.
Maybe
Get your guard up.
Honestly, he pulled his pants up, right? He pulled his pants up and he did what he had to do and he stayed with his commitment.
Yeah, he liver shot one time and we still had rounds to go and I just lied down. I was like, nah. And he was like, yeah, I think you realize like, that one hurt.
Right.
But at that point I was like, I was wrong.
You failed to defend yourself.
A bubble that should have weave. I didn't do the right thing.
But really though, the last 3 weeks were real frustrating because he had a show coming up. I don't think your show was ever really supposed to be before RABZ. You intended.
Yeah, it was supposed to be after, like way after.
Yeah, so the intention was to have him fight with RABZ and then promote the show almost as a sponsor.
Yeah.
For afterwards. But he had the show before, so I already knew that was going to kind of impact his training a bit.
Of course.
He didn't train at all the week before, the week of his show. And the week before that, it was real pressure trying to get him to, because I knew you could only do so much cardio training and conditioning. So I was trying to hammer into his head that you need to relax and not try to kill the other person and not be too tense. Otherwise, you're gonna like blow out your gas tank in the ring, and that's not a good look at all.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, he did real good though. He did real good because
He went all three.
he went all
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
And everybody in the fight for opportunity.
by middle of round 2
Yeah.
That's when it is hit you.
is for sure. Like I know I sat down after round 1 and you were like, "How you feeling?" And I took out the mug. I was like, "Not how I feel when I spar with you after one round."
Yeah, yeah. It's so interesting.
But he
was-
did. I think he won round 1.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he won the first round. It's just the conditioning really got to him, and Sammy
Was
just
it
turned it up.
was it his conditioning or was it the way he wasn't able to relax?
I think
Because I imagine he was doing rounds with you.
Yeah. He was, but I don't think he would ever have been as relaxed as with me as in the ring.
Yeah.
But he still looked a lot more relaxed than most beginners.
Oh yeah, for sure. When Charlo hopped into the ring, I was like, okay, you look like you've been doing this for a
Yeah.
while.
I was scared.
No, but you play it off really
terrified.
well. You play it
When
off
did
really well.
all right. When did the fair start? Day of, night before, a week before? When did you?
Week before.
The Monday.
The Monday, like the second my show was done,
Yeah.
I was like,
I have to fight people in front
That
of
was the
people.
most on time he's been in the ring.
I
Coming before final.
go and get cough to feel. You,
Somebody's gonna be fighting.
this man.
Went before finals, and then you have to write the exam in front of somebody.
And because you know everybody, you
Popular.
You know how much of my friends
was
there,
there.
yeah.
Men came, split dog. My cousins live in Canada now, and I have pictures with some of their friends who I don't know these youth men since like primary school. I don't know them,
But they came.
and a whole team of them was like, Matthew cousin, he tell us come out, so we here, and it's like,
Wow.
It's a real shine up to
Yeah.
it's like 8 of them, and they were
Yeah.
like, yo, good luck,
Yeah.
and I'm there like,
Thanks.
yeah, for sure.
I'll do my best.
Dog, my whole family, my grandmother,
Oh,
my
Wow.
granny's that's like 50% stress alone.
entire family was
That's
out.
a lot. Yeah.
And
That's
my
a lot of
grandfather,
pressure.
my uncles were in my corner.
Yeah.
Like I brought them there because I was like, they're real shipping. These my real boys. But they
You
real
know, up in the corner?
they dead.
You in the cornering you?
Yeah, they were in my corner, man.
Okay.
That is
That was
cute.
your uncle or something?
Yeah. That Uncle Carl and
That was there
Uncle
for hype,
Carlton.
you know. That was there for hype. Then what they were saying, that's all.
Us.
Hit him high and low.
They in the back. Hit him.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
If you look at the walkout, it was just hyping him up like it's a friggin' Rocky movie.
Literally.
I'm like, oh my god. Wait.
Backstage.
Oh, that's-
Before you, okay, I don't know where you were. Yes, you sent me to just go and warm up. And my uncle walked backstage and he just was like, Alfonso, nephew, and starts yelling. And I am seeing LaShawn is over there, like men in a zone
In the
that get
zone,
on.
yeah.
And you're just seeing this tall, 6'3", 300-pound man, nephew. And I in the corner skipping. I'm like, yeah. He said,
Over here.
but I needed them there for just relaxation and hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, familiarity. You know.
Yeah, honestly. And I think, I don't know what click the second, like warming up. Yeah, I'm real nervous. Just them watching me, I'm nervous as hell. And I real in my head. The second we walked out, I don't think I saw anything or anybody. I was just walking and I'm like,
But that's his zone to be in. That's I told you, like, if you could achieve that flow.
I reached
That was
us. It was this there, like, and I think that is also
What, the tunnel vision thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you really need when you go in that ring, eh?
But I also think that's what messed me up because of my
I
inexperience.
disagree with the tunnel vision. You know.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, that's be a symptom of the adrenaline dump.
Dump?
Yeah, like when you have the adrenaline dump, that's cause the tunnel vision usually. So I mean, the best thing to be able to do is go in. I think to be going in loose. This is just my opinion, right? To be going in loose where it's you're not in this adrenaline filled flight or fight response zone and you just relax. This is your space. I've been in the ring so many times. It nothing triggering you to go into that. I'm in danger. When you do tunnel vision, I was like, you are in danger and you need to like
That's exactly why I started.
escape. You need to like
Yeah.
your life is in your
there's a small distinction between that and what I'm talking about. I think that is maybe more the biological side, but I'm talking more the mental aspect. I think when you achieve that urgency when you're in the ring, I think like time kind of stops and you just doing what you do. Like that's the only thing that exists. in the world right now. But I don't think it comes from a fair response. It comes from, I would call it a urgent response. Like I think I achieved it the best because I've been on the opposite end of the spectrum with that.
Very relaxed, you felt.
That is when I've lost my fights.
Right.
Like when I fought Joshua James the last time, there was no part, like I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't, by the time I stepped into the ring, achieve that level of focus. And I almost knew, I was like, yeah, that's not my fight.
Right, but when? At what point in time? Like
no, well,
walking
again, I think experience in fighting, when it is you're going to do your best in a fight, and when it's just not there.
that's what I mean. Like at what point in time did you
by the time you
realize
step in our ring, and
when you cross through the rope?
Yeah, and you're not feeling yourself. They're like Sugar Ray used to say that before his fights he would look into the mirror, and if he didn't see Sugar Ray looking back at him, which is his alter ego, then he knew he wasn't going to win the fight.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, he always said, and a lot of people have alter egos like Deontay Wilder's the Bronze Bomber, Tyson Fury's the Gypsy King.
Yeah.
And there was a time I won boxing nationals, right? I got a gold medal in boxing nationals, and I think that level of urgency, it kind of snapped in my head when there were 2 walkovers before me, so I'm sleeping in the stands. In Pleasantville, and then they say Garcia to the ring next. I say, well, I pull up my phone, and the 2 fights before me. So I there from the stands corridor, what I'm saying, but no, there are 2 fights before me. They say, nah, there's walkovers as any person didn't come to fight. So they say, yeah, you need ring next. I see my opponent making his walk with his gloves on and thing like that. I didn't warm up. I didn't really prep my mind at all. Whew. And then from then, like I wouldn't call it adrenaline. I was a little angry as well that I didn't get to
proper
prepare.
Notice.
Yeah, I didn't get proper notice.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was like, I'm just gonna get his gold medal and go to frig home, dog. And like from there, like it kind of snapped in my head that there's absolutely no way I'm not walking out of there without the gold medal.
Yeah.
And like every fiber of my being knew I was gonna win that fight. And I think that was the best performance I put on, the most comfortable performance I put on. Like it was just a real arrogant kind of
Yeah, I agree with that, but that's different from tunnel vision.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
there's literally a tunnel vision where you only see the person and you're not seeing the crowd, you're not hearing anything. Everything kind of.
But that's what I mean. Like I didn't.
That's how he felt.
Yeah, I didn't hear a thing. Like I didn't hear my coaches. I didn't hear the crowd, because my brother and my other friends would be real balling and quarreling with everybody who was be balling for the next person.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear a thing. That fight came and left in 2 seconds. And then before I knew it, they were announcing the winner. Like it really just happened in no time at all.
So you're scared. I jump back to Charlie here. So you're scared from I would say scared from Monday, and then the fear took you all the way. You had reached to the point where you're in the corner, and your uncles had walked you out. You stepped into the ring. How did that unfold?
I just started feeling. I don't want to say I was relaxed, but it almost started feeling natural. Like it just felt like I stepped in the ring and I was like, even though I was scared, I was real excited.
Okay.
Because at the same time, I put myself there. Mm-hmm. So
it's a challenge.
Yeah, I was like, dog, you gonna undo this. So I think
like a burning boat, essentially.
Oh, I was
no option.
It's like I felt like prior, I was feeling like, damn, I have no option. Like I ain't gonna after sparring with Malik, I felt like backing out. What?
Real psyched out. Huh?
Yeah,
a bad sparring could shake up.
But that's also that was the most realistic fighting experience that you had since you started.
My hair was swollen, my jaw was hurting.
So you realize that this is it's not just a game. This is
the serious business.
Yeah.
So it psyched me out, and I think that is when, no matter what time I reach home, I skip it.
You had
I
to do something.
I was running hills. I was doing whatever.
That was a big reason I brought it to her, because Adam, you sure you've met Adam before? Yeah. Adam spoke to him, and I don't know if he purposely tried to do his best to psych him out to the fight, but Adam scared him. Long story short, Adam scared him. You could see it on his face. Then
it was personally, he said, my best advice to you is don't step in the ring. Wow. I was like, he said, I would have never put you there.
In front of the whole gym too.
He's like, I would have never put you in the ring. I'd at least make him train 6 months, maybe.
Hats off to you for still stepping in.
Yeah.
And this is before I fight Malik. I will kill him. Malik just in the corner, just mean mug. He just walking around.
I'm waiting to thump you up.
I watch it across. I'm like,
this is before the sparring?
Yeah, this is before.
2.5 weeks.
All right. No, but this is before the sparring with Malik?
Yeah, this is before. Like, Adam is like, he said, I wouldn't put you in the ring. Me personally.
Adam's real. He's one of these.
He said, big man thing. He said, you could get hurt. Like this serious business. And I was like, I understand. I agree with you, actually. I said, I too.
Like, I get it. I'm
agree.
afraid. I don't want to do this right now.
And then Josh was like, "Dog, relax. Do what you would do naturally."
Right.
And I think I had stepped in. And I remember people were online talking about, there's no way Still Talking could help you in a fight. And I was like, well, one stick is 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So if
Rockly moment.
if I'm running around on stilts and I move kind of quick on stilts, take it off, I could at least avoid the hell out or something.
Yeah.
And I think I started realizing, like, Maliko's hitting, but when he lands a hit, he landed that for sure. But there were moments where it was just like, nah, I think when he kicked in, like I got hit 2-3 times, like bang, bang, bang. And I was like, yeah, all right. I don't want this man hit me again.
Yeah.
And I think I just forgot all need to try and look like this trained seasoned boxer.
Right.
And that's when I started looking decent in that sparring match. I was just fight or flight trying to avoid getting hit.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
a little
think
loose.
that's when I got loose, because it was just no.
Yeah. It took your brain out of it. It wasn't so much of, okay, I need to keep this stance. I need to hold my posture like this. I need to
Because I'm trying to listen to Josh at the same time, and it's like, 1, 2, and I'm like, and I'm trying to do the thing, but there's like latency with his commands and what registered in my brain, because again, just lack of experience.
Yeah.
But by the time that man put his hands on me a couple of times,
Then he hit him a hard right hand, and then he dropped down.
yeah, I get hit. I was like, bang! I was like, yeah, I done it. There's no more. I have no more in me.
He did mentally back out to the fighter. It's not that like Malik hurt him so bad that he couldn't continue to fight, but he felt a real punch in the face, I think. And
For the first time, I guess.
yeah, that wasn't me. At least there was none of that comfort that this man's not really trying to hurt me. He didn't.
Nah, I'm trying to hit me.
No, me.
That man hit me. And
Who's hitting harder, Maliko or Samuel?
Malik.
Yeah, Malik just said real hard.
Malik hit me.
In rough
Like,
hard.
as that was good prep for you.
That boy hit me.
He beat you. He beat you.
He beat me. But like, even after it, I was laying down.
After RABZ or after these?
After sparring with Malik,
Yeah.
I think what motivated me there was I was scared, but like, I always hate to be the weakest person or the weakest link in whatever I do,
Yeah.
So if I know I can't do something musically and this man could, I'm like,
I have to figure out how to do it.
if I had to stay up the whole night, I had to go and practice. So I think that night, I lay down there with my soul, and my lip kind of bust hair soul, and I'm like,
We ain't going through this.
I say, now I start watching
people.
every day. I'm just watching videos, YouTube, just tutorials, boxing, how to improve your jab, and I was just studying more than I was before.
Right.
I have a question for Joshua. What did you think was the most challenging part in training Jalo?
On the super fan is his mind, because it's not like he was attuned with fighting
Before, so he had to condition his
The
mind.
body, he's already fit enough, his legs are strong enough from the still, so it was just really getting him to mentally focus on the parts he had to focus on. Yeah, it was really getting him to that point where he was comfortable doing what he was good at, because there was no way in 3 months I'm making him good at what I'm good at, or what somebody else is
It
good
had to
at.
be his few moves I identified.
Yeah. I told him, like, just get great at what you're already good at, and just don't be so shy at the things you're bad at. Or at least master them so somebody else can't exploit them now. And I already knew he didn't have the conditioning to try and finish somebody off, because that's a very hard thing to do. I said, if that comes, it will come naturally. Just like go in there, just trying to outpoint him, touch him up, and like, have fun and be yourself, because like your personality translates into your fighting as well.
Yeah.
I think you can tell a lot about somebody by the way they fight you and how you spar them and all that. And much more than a conversation over 2 hours, 2
I
minutes.
agree that you could tell a lot about somebody by the way they fight. I agree.
2 minutes fighting somebody, you learn.
150%. I am judging your character
Yeah.
when you step into
It's
that.
a dance,
right?
it was an art form. Same way with music and ballet and dancing and all that. Fighting is a dance. So I tried to figure out, what he was good at, what part of the dance he was good at, and it would definitely not hurt in somebody.
So you said just now too that finishing somebody off takes a certain level of skill. And I
know how
think
to do it, yeah.
I think that it also takes a certain level of confidence in the skills that you have at that point in time. So I think like the finishing somebody off is not necessarily the main goal of an amateur.
Nah.
I feel like
depends on the power.
surviving the wrongs of the
some people-
main
I feel it depends on the power, I guess. I feel like Liam,
Oh yeah, I'm
When he said-
he coming to
like,
finish.
Liam might just try to finish them off.
But he naturally does it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he has to try too much. He just has to be Liam, and he will end up finishing.
Very true. Very
Yeah, yeah.
He's
It's
a
not like
finisher.
you're trying to do something that is not for you. And like my brother, he and I are like he's a very vocal person. As I'm sure you're going to talk about
That one day,
So
I'm
like
just
I think it
between
was
the two
the
of them.
Thursday or the Friday before. I'm just trying to work on his flowing, we're touching, we're sparring, and I'm just getting Charlo like the repetition by 1,000 kicks, you know. And my brother comes, he's like, "What's Charlo's special move? Like, what are you gonna do when when he hits the
Signature
wall?"
move.
Yeah, it was a signature move, like when everything else hits the wall. And I'm like, "No, there's nothing. He just has to stay."
Charlo.
Just move.
No, and he and I and like Jeremiah could quarrel with me for like days on end. I kid you not. And he just quarreling with me in front of Charlo there in the middle of the round, trying to convince me and Charlo to get a signature move for him. And I'm like,
when I just started shadowboxing in the background,
Yeah,
you're just going at it, and I was like,
Let me mind my business.
I know.
But like,
You know,
you want
my
a signature move like for social media? Like what? Why he need a signature move?
just in case everything else failed, like what could you fall back on? And
I think
needs to use
Jerry's
basics.
point was, he was saying like, yo, what if you happen to you land a real good right turn on Sammy and you get him to stumble? How you gonna like finish that man off? How you gonna do that? So I was like, I don't know.
My response was keep doing what you're doing. Why change what you're doing? But Jeremiah was saying that if you get the opportunity, like try and hit him as hard as you can, finishing him off. But my thing with that is it's risky because if you swing one or two hard ones and you gas out yourself and you somehow fail to do that.
Yep, and you have to
recover.
continue.
Yeah,
And you have to
in
continue.
real dead
Yeah,
waters there,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
And I was like, that it's just not worth it at all. Just finish it, let it happen naturally.
I think that was good advice also based on the fact that he had been training for 2 months and you were really trying to just hone the best of his skills instead of focusing on this other thing that you might have to use.
As his coach and as the promoter as well. Obviously, the promoter he'd focus on different things, but as his coach, which I was, it's to keep him safe and to win the fight. So I'm not gonna try and do nothing flashy to put
I
him at
agree
risk.
that keeping athletes safe is very important. I'm just reiterating. There's certain things, certain values that I have. And I believe keeping the athletes safe is one of the most important ones.
So Charlo, we had gotten to started the fight.
Right.
You got into a flow in the first round. Right? How did the 3 rounds play out? Did you stick to a game plan? How was it emotionally? Okay.
I think I went in and we feel each other out, and instantly I realized, and I think this is where I started to think. Because before, fighting Josh is one thing, but like, I don't think when I was fighting Josh or sparring with Josh, I wasn't thinking on my own. I was listening to what Josh would say to do.
While he was sparring with you?
Well, while he's doing it, he would still kind of
Give you advice.
Give you certain instructions,
Yeah, he would cue in certain ways, or he would set things up, and I'm like, he would lead the dance.
And give you a space and then do the hook now.
Yeah, like there would be moments he'd be like, yo, if you see my hand down here,
take advantage of that.
All right.
do this. But now in the ring, I'm not hearing them, and this man is trying to hit me. So I started to think, or this automatically it just turned on, and Sammy is 6'3".
Yeah, he's a tall fella.
He's 6'3", and he immediately just started keeping me at distance.
Right.
He was just sending out punches and just keeping me out there. And I realized, I want to hit you to let you know that you can't just put your hand on my forehead and put me out
And
there.
he did a few times,
And I think I realized this is where it worked. It would have worked if I had more endurance. Because I had to be quicker than him.
Gas tank finish.
Yeah, I had to, because even
When would you say the gas tank finished?
the gas tank finish,
Middle of the second
middle
round.
of second round, yeah. Literally, because round 1, I was feeling good. Like he would send out this, and I reach in, I'm in and I'm out. And I touching him up, and I thought that I was relaxed, I was loose, I'm just touching him. I know for sure there was a moment where I realized, I don't think I was faster than him, but I was moving faster than him.
Right.
Or I was moving faster than he let me move. Is how I started feeling. Because I think he was real calm. He was chill and relaxed, but I was moving a lot.
Yeah, his feet were more planted than yours.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, Adam said it after he saw him spar. He was like, yeah, one of his strengths is his feet. He can move a lot quicker than.
Okay, his feet were more planted, and
Yeah.
your feet were you were more mobile.
I was on the balls, man. I was going. And like I'd hit Samuel one right hand that connected. It felt real good.
You saw on the video too, his face is like,
Yeah,
Yes.
I hit Samuel. And you see, he pulled back and he stepped back. And my mind, I think that helped my confidence because I was like, yeah, I gonna hit you.
he hits hard, you know. Like naturally, he has some stone in his hand. He hits hard naturally.
I started hitting him. And I think there is where the inexperience showed on my part. I land 2-3 punches, but now I want to land more. And I started,
okay.
and like, even though I wasn't doing too much, I looked relaxed for somebody I would have looked more relaxed for somebody if I was training longer. So by the time I sat down after round one, you know, I breathed in, I checking myself. Josh was like, how you feeling? I said, not how I feel after one round sparring with you. I said, I think everything now, you know, the lights, the thing,
and the adrenaline takes a toll on your body.
thing. So by the time round
you
2
had
started,
days, yeah, all of that would take a toll.
So now by the time round 2 started, Samuel's the volume of his attacks
increased,
slowly picked up.
Yeah.
And I noticed it immediately because I was like, all right, cool. I think there was one point in my mind, I was like, oh, wow, does he really hit? And I just eat one of his punches and I was like, that already hurts too bad.
So touch the stove on purpose, you know.
Malik hit me harder.
I was like, Malik hit me harder. So like, I think to me, I was trying to prove to myself, like, yo,
You could take it.
relax. There was a moment in the second round, and I wish somebody get it on video. I felt myself getting tense and getting afraid because, you know, Sammy he started upping the tempo. And I was like, dog, you shallow boy, just relax now. And I think I just like dropped my hands, smile, and started like just dancing around.
I saw that, yeah, that was actually on the video.
And I was like, all right. I was like, bro, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. Like he's having fun, you having fun, everybody here for a good time.
Right.
Relax.
That's a real good mindset.
So
And I just did it.
So this was one of Chalo's challenges, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from everything that we talked about today, it sounds like the only thing that was working against you was your lack of experience and the short time that you were training for. So my question is, are you planning to
100%.
continue? We used to be looking forward to seeing you in the next fight.
I honestly did not expect to have as much fun as I did.
Right. And you want to address all these little things that you've learned about yourself
yeah.
and you want to get better. So you're ready to
I want to
sign
see
up for the
what
next one.
type of fight I would look like if I train
Really
consistently
good.
for
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
Like a solid year, like 6 months minimum. Be going off of what Adam mentioned,
Yeah.
going off of just what I felt.
And what you proved to yourself, because with minimum training, you went out there, you survived your 3 rounds, you enjoyed it, you saw things about yourself, you learned things about yourself. And now you know that you can do way more than you think you can. So it's like, bro.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see your fight. At the end of the 3rd round, were you unsure of if you won or not? Like
No,
before
at the end of the 3rd round, I was certain I did not win.
I think I told you that too in the corner, and I was like, yeah, we lost.
I didn't get to see. Because I was backstage. I didn't get to see your fight.
Round 1, I looked good.
We knew.
I land points. Round 2, I started good, and then Sammy just started. He was up. He was on me, and I was just moving. At that point, like Joshua was like, "Yo, dance, defend."
You could tell that in the first rounds, it looked, because of the performance in the second and the 3rd rounds, you could tell that his opponent was testing the waters to see how much he could do and how much he can do, what this guy really have.
Right.
Because he must have heard that Chalo is new to the scene and hasn't been training for that long. And so he was probably trying to test the waters to see what he can do.
Which is also something that I want to just to real big up Sammy on just I think that's a testament to like his character.
Yeah.
I think for sure in round 3, he could have used some type of special. He could have finished me off.
But he measured what was happening by round 2.
With the way in which I was feeling and the way in which I remember
Felt
like,
like you was moving.
yeah,
I think
my
he
hands.
didn't on purpose.
Yeah, I think for sure he was like, you know what? He respected me in that
He didn't
moment.
advantage you.
Yeah, he could have advantage you seen. That's how I felt because I know my hands
we
were
don't
up.
like advantage thing.
My hands
Another
were
value.
up. My breath was real shallow. No, but I think he could have really advantage if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Because he had this time. Dog, that man went to a show right after the fight, you know.
We mean a show. What kind of show?
He had a version of his, had a performance in Kaiser Blues.
yeah.
Right.
We was talking about that before the match. He went to a show right after and then came back. But like, I think he could have done more. And not to say like he wasn't giving it his all, but I think there were just moments where he just showed a certain level of restraint, which is obviously just his experience and character as a fighter. Because
I think that's the measure of a good athlete.
Great.
If you know already by the second round that you're about to win this fight, you don't have to do anything to prove anything more.
Yeah.
Just keep up your momentum and a fair fight, a
Especially
nice
since
decent
Charlotte,
fight.
they're not fighting
Yeah.
for no like one championship
It's not no
for
big
UFC
ego.
belt.
at that point, that man lick off my headgear once, my mouth, he lick off my mouth guard twice.
Your nose is bleeding.
My nose started bleeding. I didn't even know my nose was bleeding until after.
Yeah.
My nose was bleeding. If that man wanted to, he could have just put the hurt on me for sure, because I was trying to get out of there. I was trying to move. My hands were down. I'm trying to keep it up.
There is a point he had.
I have a question.
There's a point.
Yeah, I do it. I do it.
That man off.
Yeah.
I just pushed him and I was like, I was just, my breath was like, I couldn't breathe.
That was real
Really
good.
couldn't breathe.
Real
Yeah.
good. Wrong.
But I was still on my feet and I was moving.
Yeah, the day after the event, I'd message you to find how you felt, how you thought it went, and I found your message sounded like an athlete. You like you listed a set of pros. You said that you stuck to the plan. You had these checkpoints you're trying to meet, and you met a lot of the checkpoints.
Yeah.
And that's how a really good athlete looks at his fight, especially the first few fights. And so I thought that was pretty impressive as somebody who, I'm not sure if you did sports before.
Yeah, I used to football.
Like competitive, you like in a yeah. So
As a youth.
Is that a general approach to your tasks? Like you have your checkpoints that you want to meet, and you have your target points, and that's how you approach most of the things that you do.
Yeah, I'm a musician, so I'm a performer. I always, whatever the game plan, what's the goal, this is what I want to do. I know I have prepared this amount. I am trying to be prepared for whatever can go wrong.
Yeah.
On stage, before stage, after stage, whatever can go wrong. I want to know how can I improvise. And if it goes wrong,
yeah.
immediately
your
after,
options?
I'm thinking,
Yeah, pure risk analysis.
how can I have adjusted and fixed this? What is my problem?
Perfect.
And I think I went into that mindset with the fight as well. Because my goals were don't get knocked out, don't get knocked down, last all 3 rounds.
I have a question for both you and Edson. You could decide who wants to answer it first. Has your opinion of kickboxing changed as an art form before your fight and after your fight?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll let you go. I'll let you go first.
I would like to know how. How has it changed?
Well, I think I didn't have any real opinion prior. I was just like, oh yeah,
Fighting.
yeah, fight. Go at it. I didn't expect the type of brotherhood or camaraderie before, during, and after that was displayed. I didn't expect that whole. It was a love. It was a love.
People
and a
vested in your
Yeah.
in your growth and your development and your success at this.
Yeah, like it was just so. The energy, I expected the energy backstage to be way
Tense.
more venomous than it actually was.
Yeah.
I was just in the room and you chilling there, you rolling your ankle over somebody else. Think Ronaldo just
The whole event you was rolling yourself, you know.
Listen, I was prepared. I had my
His body was
checkpoints. I have a
tight.
long list of checkpoints, and one of them was doing a full roll before. But then, I'll get to that. I'll get to that after.
You know,
He
like
was-
kickboxing, this man was rolling, you know.
Dan, I felt like he getting ready and he pulled out of this big suitcase of just things. And I was like, wait. I hear on my phone scrolling Instagram in Josh pants. And I'm like,
Is he pants, you know? Them pants is a good one.
I just, they're like, all right, cool. I just, you know what? And it was just so calm. It was calming. It was real relaxing. And I felt real good. So for me, after the fight, or even like after my fight and I went out, after I threw up in the back, I went out in
you
front.
threw up.
What?
Oh no.
Bro.
Yeah, I threw up.
Come on. This is
You
not
threw
no
up too?
no.
Okay.
It was no small trouble that was going on back in. I felt you were throwing up for a while.
I was going in.
What did you eat?
No, it had nothing to that. It had nothing to do with food.
I know it's nerves and
I
everything
ate
else.
at-
that's
No, it's
going
just
in your
when you
body,
push your
yeah.
body to a lactic, past the lactic threshold,
Yes,
it feel real,
So it's
it's
like when
nauseous.
people work out for the first time ever. And they start
Or they start
feel
doing
they
sprints,
must-
like if you just start doing.
yeah,
Do you think that's like subjective to who is to the person's body? Because
Yeah. So
What's your condition for?
I find like I've never felt like that.
it's sprinting.
I used to do track and field. I used to run for Fatima.
Right.
You know Zachary, the fighter as well, right?
Yeah.
He used to be on the same track team as me because he went to Fatima with me. He used to vomit every single training session, almost every training session. But you're doing the same runs, you know. But I think that his body is just
A high percentage of people who get pushed to that lactic threshold vomit. Yeah.
right. Okay. He and some of the other teammates as well. But me and my brother would never.
Did you play sports before track and field?
I would have played football as a youth, but you know, like there's religious games.
I think sometimes your level of athleticism before would
Yeah, when I played my first sport, when I first started playing football, I used to feel the vomit every training session.
True.
But then as I went on to other sports, it was like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to feel that way. Okay, I don't feel that way anymore.
That's crazy. I used to eat fries and chicken and thing before my fights.
No, it's not. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah, you built different.
I don't.
I
I was
hate
real buff man for that.
It's just the
The
exposure
reason
to
why I
it's just
asked
exposure to
what
lactic.
he ate is because you said it was real vomit. I don't know what you eat.
I remember I was having that conversation. I was trying to give him space. And I was just saying that vomit. I was just saying, the bucket is just filling up. I was like, oh, maybe we should leave the room. You know, he can't.
And that does never feel good. Vomiting is not a nice experience.
What's even worse is that with my uncles, one in front, one to the side, two of them
Talking
just
shit in the
It was like,
and telling your things. They tell you.
Children in the future, boy.
it was like, hey,
Check your father here, boy.
it was
Check
like
your
if a
father
fight
here.
going on outside, hurry up.
question. So, like, as a super popular person, I'm just gonna put that on you, right? I'm gonna put that on you. As a super popular person, you had these people come to support. How did you deal with it after? Yeah, because I know you'd have prepared, and you'd have walked in believing with the desire to win, wanting it to happen, right? When you lost, like, how did you have a problem dealing with that? Or?
Nope. When everybody was like, I posted some clips after and they were like, did you win? I was like, no.
I think he managed his expectations.
I said, to be fair, Samuel is on his bio has the number 2 CrossFit athlete in the country.
I didn't know that. But I know he's trained by McFit.
And then Taekwondo. I said, this man coaches.
Yeah.
This man does this all day.
And you know you went training for 2 months.
I was
You
on
were-
the
you come to
Avenue
do a fight.
the night before.
Oh God!
Pablo coming in 5 foot up belly.
It's like I have a belly horse and
Why is on the avenue night?
no, but this is after the weigh-in, I was just
Lyman.
I was trying to go home, but like men didn't
It's
leave.
shallow.
I think I saw
It's
money
shallow. He's
week of,
popular.
he was Lyman tipsy. I was like, catch his man Lyman tipsy. I busy week.
So why did you do that?
Who was it? It was Scorch or something. Yeah. You know, big friggin' Scorch shit or Jose Quavo shit.
Oh yeah,
Jumping up and Lyman. I was like,
that was
"Go on your bed, boys."
dog. That was just more committee
Yeah, obligations.
obligations.
I hear.
I had to be there, you know. And somebody people was asking after the fight. He was like, "Did you win?" I was like, "No."
I was
I was like, honestly, if Samuel didn't win, I would have been more confused because this man was every
You
step
think he
made-
deserved his win? Yeah.
he was supposed to have had more endurance. The only way I could have, the only way I should have won is if I was some real prodigious kind of fighter, which I don't believe that I am, but I think I had natural things about me.
Natural abilities.
I had some
And if you
natural
own it
things.
and you continue training
But-
for longer,
Yeah, but
maybe
there's
you'll be a little more dangerous.
I don't want to say I went in there not expecting to win. I definitely went in trying to win.
Yeah.
Trying to do my best. But after when he won, I was like, yeah,
Yeah, he won that fight.
I said, it makes sense.
Right.
As a fighter, like at the end of the day, my mindset is anybody could win any fight. Once it is, of course, like in the same weight class and all that.
Because wrong one, my mindset changed. I'm not gonna lie. The first couple of shots I landed on him, I was like, oh yeah, you did. Yeah, come here. I was walking
You didn't
him down.
realize
I
he was
like,
taking it easy on you.
no, it catch me.
He was marked. He was just testing to see what the waters was like. And I think that's something that I've noticed about most people that enter the ring. Just talking to like Liam and Aiden, people who fought before, they would say that first round is really to see what they're up against. You measure yourself, you measure your distance, you want to know what this person really capable of bringing to the table. You mightn't see all the tricks, but you get a sense of the type of fighter that they are in the first round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by the second rounds, you now try to implement what you've learned against what you've learned about them and the style and the tactic. If you have all that
I take the
thinking
opposite
to do.
approach. I honestly try to
End it quick.
yeah.
But I think that also it's different for amateur fighters and people who've had a little bit more experience fighting. Because I feel like when you with your first 3-4 fights, right, you also not sure what the other person has to offer. You don't know how your skills going to stand up against theirs. But I feel like after you've had some fighting experience and you get some reassurance, and then you train on what you feel your weaknesses are, and you get better, so by then you have a certain level of confidence where in that first round, I really need to see what you're doing. I go in and give you certain things to see how you handle it.
Right, yeah.
And I've noticed, I like to watch, right? I've been watching boxing with my dad since I was about 5 years old. And we used to stay up 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock watching these matches.
Happening late.
Yeah, late at night. And he would tell me, my dad used to box, my grandfather used to box. So we would sit down, we would talk about it, and he would just show me certain things. You see what he do there? That not good.
Kind of daughter.
Is it what?
It's the kind of daughter I need to have.
So I've always enjoyed looking at fights for that particular reason. Yes, bonding with my dad, but because of the analysis of the fighter, you're looking to see if this person really know what they're doing, if they're gassing out early, if they're using techniques, if they have self-control, if they're throwing wild, and that's how we used to respect certain athletes. So we might see somebody and they might come out as the loser, but they were the better fighter. You know, and so me and my dad had a lot of commentary about that. So that's why I look at fights the way I do. You know, I look to see the person, yes, the character of the fighter, also the referees, but more or less like I'm looking at the overall movement of two people who've trained separately coming together to exchange skills. Yeah. And who is doing that better than who? You know, based on the crowd, based on the day, what's happening. I don't care if you win 20 fights before, on this day, when you show up in this ring, what you bring into the table, you know?
Yeah, so that goes to the question I asked earlier. If my perception of kickboxing has changed. So key thing that has changed, right, is that I don't know what the kickboxing floor is going to feel like. so I mean, it might sound strange to somebody who's never competed before, but
you're custom competing in taekwondo.
I'm custom competing in taekwondo. So when you compete in taekwondo from colored belt to black belt, you are competing on a rubberized mat that's either Adidas or Dedo. You know exactly what that mat feels like. It's designed to have friction. You know what that mat going to feel like, right? So leading up to the event, so I asked you about fear and stuff and how you felt leading up to this competition. This is the most comfortable I have ever felt going up preparing for any fight, because I felt like I had more experience technically, and I was getting good work in from Coach Cox. I was training with Liam. I was training with Chelsea. I had a lot of sparring partners.
Alexi.
But I was training on taekwondo mats that have a lot of traction. So in the round, so we were building up, we were doing shark tanks of like 15 rounds. We had gotten up to 15 round shark tanks, right? And I had a long checklist of things that I was prepping too. So there was double kicks, turn back roundhouse kicks, spin kicks, back kicks, a lot of things that I knew. At the end of the day, these kicks very clean, no matter what power he comes with or whatever floor he comes with, I'll be able to do these techniques at the end of the day and keep distance, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. Coach Cox was trying to get me to do more sparring at different gyms. And I only end up kind of getting to go to Hit Fit the Thursday.
The week before?
Not the week before, but the week before that, right? So when they have a different mat, they just put down this kind of tarpaulin on it. I was like, cool. So I was able to do the kicks there. I was like, all right, yeah. So it could work here too, all right? So I'm thinking, all right, this is fine. I get to fight some taller people, bigger people at Hit Fit. Like, this good and work. I go and have the best time ever. The event. What was the thing that you had at my gym? The
Conference.
the
Press
press conference came. I was like, they asked me, how I felt going into it. I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm definitely going to technically outmatch the opponent for sure, right? So I'm like, I know that Tyler is very strong for sure. He have to be strong.
Paul Strong.
Yeah, and in striking martial arts, there's always a chance of just getting sparked. And I was like, okay, cool, that could happen. But I was also sparring with Liam, and Liam, I told Liam, hit me as hard as you could.
Go 100,
right?
go
I was
100.
like, and I get sparked a few times. I was like,
hit you as hard as you
yeah,
can.
early in the camp. So I was like,
You never seen Liam hit?
so I was asking,
Liam has the knockout punch.
yeah. So I was asking him I told him early on in the camp, hey, I need to know what the power feels like, right? So he did hit me. I was like, okay, cool. I can take this power, right? So cool. So if Liam hitting me, cool. I have all these kicks I could do. I'll be straight. So I had all my pre-competition I'd call it ritual, but checklist set up, all the rolling, stretching, everything
So
going on.
before his fight, like I was like, he had a done the road. I was like, you good? He's like, yeah, man, I cool. I was like, okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm feeling.
Be safe. Bye. I'll see you later.
Yeah, when I used to do taekwondo, I used to be I used to get my anxiety used to peak the night before the tournament. That's when I used to start thinking all kind of about who are going to fight in taekwondo. You just don't know who you're going to fight, which is a little bit scarier.
Wow.
Only on the morning of,
Fine,
there's draw and it's be like, you end up fighting Brazil or you end up fighting USA or some big team. I was like, damn. But you just don't know.
Amateur tournaments, okay.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same for boxing as well.
Yeah, so I'm feeling comfortable backstage. Cool. You there? I listen to music. I roll and I'm like, okay, cool. My heart rate real low. I'm feeling real comfortable. I have my game plan. This going to go real good, right? So before the fight starts, like when I got there early, I was like, okay, I don't know what this floor feels like. I'm an athlete. I need to go check this. So I asked, what's your assistant's name? Jessie. I asked Jessie, hey, I could go up on the ring. And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So go up into the ring, step in, and as my feet touched, I'm like, oh. This is a little
That's
slippery.
an idea.
No. I was like, this is a little slippery. And then I step around a little bit, I do some zipping, moving around. And I was like, okay, it's a little slippery, but I've been on worse surfaces. I could handle this. Cool. Yeah. This is not going to be a problem, right? Because I'm also thinking I'm going to go a fighting third. So then I go in the backstage, start warm up a few times. Tyler has a few like medical issues that end up pushing our fight back.
Right.
So now our fight gets pushed back a little bit further.
Like the 7th fight.
So it was. I don't even know.
I don't know.
Fights. I just know 2 or 3 more fights after.
It was before the break.
It was either the 7th. The 6th or the 7th fight, I believe it was the 7th.
Is the last one before the break, I think.
Nah, I think
I had a break before your fight.
It was the 7th.
Yeah, because it only had 2 more fights after.
The 7th would have been Zachary, then the 8th would have been Ronaldo, and then the 9th would have been LeSean. So
okay, so it would have been the 6th fight.
Right. So now I'm doing the final set of warm-ups. So I did a few warm-ups with Liam because I was going to fight and I didn't fight. I'm going to fight, I didn't fight. I'm going to fight, I didn't fight.
Right.
So then to the last fight, I start noticing a normal feeling, which is right before, if you're competing and you do that warm-up or on the day of competition, because of anxiety, you might feel a decrease in power. So I'm hitting the pads, I'm like, this is not feeling like
any sound.
It does the same sound and drive that as be hitting. But because I've competed a few times, I'm like, I know this was going to happen. So I knew what my peak was. And I'm like, all right, I know it would be less than, I could work with whatever I have. Cool. Do the coolest walkout I think that probably ever happened, right?
Yep.
I was like,
it was between the two of y'all.
I felt my warm up.
The walkout was bad.
I wasted the worst. Right? So I do my walkout, right? And then so I as soon as I walk through the ring, walk through the ropes and put my foot down on the mat, I'm like, no, it's wet.
No.
The previous fights. So I think you can tell me, right? So there's cloth. Is there sponge underneath the cloth?
Not sponge, but there's like thick foam.
Like a foam.
The foam is porous, like it's water holding.
Yeah.
Not
to be because I was skating.
So
yeah.
So when you
watch it,
everybody
after the 4th fight, was skated.
So when you watch it, it will look dry because I think whatever's underneath the cloth absorbs liquid.
But it's
so now as soon as I step into the ring, there's something I tell my athletes to do, like to own the space, so like to like move around the space, like, and really feel like you dominating. And I start like going up and down. I was like, there's no traction here for me to do my kicks. There's no traction here, and the vast, like 90% of my game plan is kicks, right? So I'm like, all right, so I have about 15 seconds to figure out what I'm gonna do. New game plan, right? So now fight starts
but so you started with the leg kicks.
Yeah, so I'm like, so there's the most stable kick, because I as I was walking around, I felt like I couldn't drive. I felt like I couldn't do a drive to do a midsection kick. That just I felt like, because
you're accustomed to how the floor feels, and so you're not getting that resistance that you need to do what you need to do.
Yeah, so like when we think about taekwondo and kickboxing, people ask about the different in kicks and why the kicks end up being faster. A lot of times it's because people who do kickboxing, Muay Thai, they do the kick as a twist or a swing of the leg, or a rotation of the body. But in taekwondo, a huge part of it is the drive off the ground. So you can't kick without it, right? But because I know it's not there, I'm like, I shouldn't. Let me not do those as yet. So I'll stick to the safer kick.
Doubt in the back of your head.
It was just doubt. It's just mostly doubt, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll go and start doing these leg kicks. All right.
You're also trying not to hurt yourself. And I feel like your body is telling you it's dangerous.
Not yet. So here's when it started to be dangerous. So I did a leg kick. He kind of checked it, but it still hit muscle. So he was able to raise his leg in time to check it. And then I did like 2 or 3, one after the other. But usually with the drive that I use, nobody's really be able to check the leg.
Yeah, because your freaking legs heavy.
But I'm like, no, because they don't get their leg off in time because the velocity comes with.
Right, okay.
So then I'm like, he can check it because I'm not getting any drive. All my kicks gonna be reduced by like 30-40% speed. Okay, cool. All right, I'll figure this out. I'll figure it out. Right. So
maths going on.
All the maths going on, right? And the maths is really take up a lot of energy.
Of course,
you're not supposed to be. You're really not supposed to be matching. So then after I did a few leg kicks, I didn't throw many body kicks or anything after that. I was like, I guess I have to punch with this man. But this is like where our skill would have been comparable, because I never competed in boxing, and he has done one kickboxing fight. And then I guess he recently started doing boxing. I didn't want it to come down to boxing at all.
Yeah, I was started training with my boxing trainer.
Recently, but I know pretty recently, right? But the game plan was to like, only if you end up like bridging a certain distance, I'll have to go down to the punches or whatever, right? So now by the end, at the end of the first round is when they had, so I'd gotten hit to the back of the head, and then I went down, and then he hit me to the back of the head again. And so all the time I was getting punches, and one of my checkpoints was to keep my hands up, because in Taekwondo,
you don't
your hands is below. Yeah. So it's one of the thing my coaches was harassing me about. Throwing the camp.
Also the last voice note I sent you, I was like, keep your guard up,
keep your guard up.
Them Taekwondo hands is fall.
You have to now unlearn something.
It's okay. It's something
been difficult.
No, it's difficult to overcome the muscle memory, but the reason I wanted to start doing boxing and kickboxing is I always thought that my kicks are really good, but there's sometimes when I train, let's say I do leg day, and my leg's dead. I wanted to make sure I had things that I could do to defend myself, just in general. If something happened to my legs, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to learn the skill of boxing, and start doing kickboxing or whatever. So now I get the hit to the back of the head, go down, get the hit again. And after that, I start feeling real dizzy. And before that, he was hitting, but I felt like I was guarding. And my hands were up on I was receiving them on the gloves for the most part. I did receive a few, but I was like, okay, this is manageable. But after the hit to the back of the head, I felt pretty, it was true. So now I was trying to do the maths. The boxing maths. Plus I was feeling dizzy. I was like, this is not a good combination. But my go-to things that I want to go to, I was like, damn, I can't do any of the kicks that I plan to do, that I train all the time to do. Yeah. So then we go into the second round, and by the end, like middle No, early, like the
second
first
round.
quarter of the second round, I felt exhausted. There's a time that I saw him look a little exhausted. I was like, I don't even have energy to capitalize on this. Because I guess a mixture of
Your concussion.
the people, people maybe, but people really underestimate when you have to like think about things in the fight is really drain you out. So I try to like develop a style that I'm like, okay, I have these things. These are my 5 top things I do with my left. If my left leg is in front, my left hand in front, these are the top 5 things. If my right leg is in front, these are the top 5 things. This is the most powerful. This is the fastest one. And I have like a little system, so I don't have to think about anything. I just know what I'm doing.
But that whole system went out the window from the time you
whole
touched
thing.
the floor.
No, Mike Tyson has that phrase. You can have all the. I think it's like you can have all the plans
have
in
a
the world
plan until you
get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Apparently, it also works if you get punched in the back of the head too. If you get
Yep.
the plans could disappear.
I think it's even more potent when you get hit in the back.
Yeah. So now I have this new strategy of like
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
like,
gonna have.
Yeah.
you
I'm
need
bringing out a whole new defense. I'm bringing out a whole new
need a
defense.
hat.
If
you need to start letting have hats in the ring. Especially if it has people like strong
But see,
people out there.
if I could be 100% honest with you,
Yeah.
so I did watch a fight that it hasn't gotten released as yet.
yeah.
I think we still have.
He's about.
It's just really short stuff. That's the only.
I think only saw like one fight come out.
If I could have all the fights released the day after, I would have it released the day after. I want to see all the fights on YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did see the raw footage of a fight. But what I noticed, and I think this is from not being in a taekwondo setting, you're more transitioning into a rougher sport. I would say kickboxing and boxing, a lot more dog eat dog kind of sport, less respect and all that. And there's more ways to injure yourself as well. But the last thing that the referee always says to you before you enter the fight, and is that nobody don't see any reason he does say it to you, is defend yourself at all times, listen to my commands.
Agreed.
Because he knows when it is a fight starts, not everybody listens to the commands when everything's going on. Like I'm sure Tyler, like the last thing on his head was fight. He was just trying to hurt you. You know, he was just trying to fight, hurt you. And to a certain extent, you can't really blame him for that. But as an athlete, you do need that composure.
I 100% blame him for that. And I'm not going to go too much into it. However, remember we were talking about Charlo's opponent who knew he had won by the middle of the second round and did not take advantage of the opportunity because he's someone with integrity.
Yeah.
So I think it always boils down to the athlete, your ego, what it is you have to prove to yourself, what you think you have to prove to people who dare to come out and support you.
You're correct. Individually, you're definitely correct.
However, as I say, one of my biggest values is the safety of the athlete, and I felt very disappointed in the refereeing of that particular match. He should not have been allowed to hit him the second time behind his head while on the floor. Just saying.
So let me ask you a question. Then.
Hold on, let's keep it on Tyler before because we went to Tyler and then the referee, right? So so in my opinion, I don't have anything against Tyler at all doing what he did, right? Because I feel like one, I'm looking at him as a younger athlete.
A little boy
who has not.
That's my word.
He has not. He hasn't competed in combat sport as long as me. So then when you haven't competed that much, there's less control that has to happen. So I just know that he's coming in and he has to try to win.
No, sometimes the more dangerous guys to face are the newer guys.
Yeah.
When I spar people,
of course they are. I agree with that 100% too.
Right.
And this is why it is more important to protect these athletes.
we touch back on our touch.
I just say,
Hold on.
amateurs that don't know what they're doing really and they have no real experience, there should be more vigilance in refereeing them.
There's 3 sides to that story she's talking about. So there's the referee who's supposed to keep the athlete safe as best as he could. There's the athlete that's attacking to make sure he keeps himself and the other person safe
and follow the rules.
And follow the rules and listen to the referee. Then there's the other person who is just told to defend themselves.
Exactly.
Now I've been on both. I've been on every side of that because I've refereed before. I've been on the receiving end of bad blows. And I've been on the end of like being able to give a bad blow if I wanted to. And I wouldn't say I've given somebody a bad blow to the back of the head or to the back of the ear or anything like that, or even their back. At least not that I've been pointed out to. But there have been times where I've been extremely wrong, just like you, because you definitely were wrong. But I would say that it's never left my head that the referee is not my mother. I'm only going to expect so much urgency to protect somebody that they don't know, especially if they're a negligent referee. And I'd have passed through that as well. Like in the last fight I had with Joshua James, I don't know if you were there or if you saw it.
Of course I was there.
But
So just so you know, out of your 7 RABs, I've been to 5.
true.
And they were the last 5. I didn't know about them in the
this was
first
in
two.
RABZ, when I fought.
No, I just started it.
Oh, okay.
In the first 2, I didn't know about it yet. That's the only reason I wasn't there.
True. Okay.
So afterwards, I went to the last 5 RABs. I went to one day of boxing nationals, and
You saw me there?
a couple other, not this year.
Okay.
And then I saw a couple other like competitions, a little rough
Yeah.
stuff here, a little thing there, a little thing. Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is, I appreciate her as a fan the most. I think she's our biggest supporter and critic, which is what we need.
Yeah, people have to care. If they don't care, that's be a...
I real care.
Yeah. But I mean, come on, what comes with caring is the criticism as well. They're gonna get people who are gonna speak their mind if they care. But what I was gonna say is that in the last fight now, and this is a place where I could have gotten like seriously hurt because I was already around 15, 18 pounds underweight from the guy I was fighting. Which means that, he had a lot more weight to damage me with. And what happened was he had kicked me in my groin. I don't think he meant it, obviously, but his foot...
That's where it landed.
I think he lacks a little flexibility, so his foot just didn't reach out properly, and it passed my groin to the point where my groin cup was completely it was
Shifted.
Yeah, it was out of
So
place.
there was no doubt that it get hit.
No, it got hit for sure. You can't tell me otherwise. Like all my junk was outside of a groin cup, and I ended up I tried to fight through the pain, and for 2 seconds I just ended up taking the knee because I couldn't fight through the pain. So I was like,
that is
no.
excruciating.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but
you see, what happened was the ref was probably 4 steps that way, and Joshua was still coming at me by the time I took the knee. And I said, I'm not playing with this fella. This fella is coming. He's in a fight. He don't like me in this fight. I'm protecting myself.
While you on the knee?
This is why I'm on my knee. I do this. I make sure to keep my hands up when I'm at my knee. Yeah. All of a sudden, this man's shin bone and toenails and then come up in my foot because he kicked me while I was on the ground. But you see, if I didn't keep to the back of my head now to protect myself against somebody like as skilled as Joshua, the referee, he would have just been picking me up the floor and dragging me to the ambulance because I would have been football kicked. But I think that's something everybody needs to keep in the back of their head as well, which I don't think that you fully did.
No.
Based on what I saw. Yeah,
But,
you fully kept
I
that.
also believe that there are certain rules,
No, they are.
and therefore you're not expecting to get kicked in your groin because
I
the kick's
wasn't.
supposed to
But even
land
if I
a
did,
particular
and-
place. You're not expecting to get hit in the back of your head.
No.
So you're not looking for that.
No, you know what? No, at the end of the day, I was expecting.
Well, yeah, you were pre-warned.
I was
Yeah.
pre-warned.
No,
I was
you should expect
it's pre-warned,
worse from those people.
But I'd never been hit in the back of my head before. So I was like, okay,
you're not expecting
this person might try to do this. Is something might happen.
Yeah.
And it might be happening based on. I honestly do think. So first, I was told by a previous opponent that this happened in his fight, that he was hit in the back of the head. And in my mind, I was like, okay, he isn't boxing. He isn't training boxing somewhere. He might end up hitting you in the back of the head. I personally don't think.
I also expect that people are trying to do better than their previous fight.
Right. But I don't think that Tyler was like, what I gonna do?
I don't think.
I gonna hit that man in the back of his head.
I disagree.
I think that I know.
We don't know.
I
We don't know.
We've gone back and forth on the court.
But the
There are
fact that
people
it
like that
happened,
you will
the
fight,
fact
eh?
that it happened more than one,
Right.
Yeah.
with more than one opponent,
Yeah.
I
It
don't
could
think
be
it's a
technical.
habit. I
It
don't
could
think
be
it's a
technical.
habit.
It could be technical.
And whoever is training him is not checking him on that.
So I mean, you said something about defending myself at all times. I think I need to know. Now I know how the judging happens, and that people wouldn't have the same that I'm not sure if you ever did a traditional martial art before.
I've done karate when I was in
For a while.
Yeah.
There's there's a different type of sportsmanship that's happen
Yeah,
in the
that's what I
traditional
said.
martial arts.
There's a certain respect for the form.
So there was a time in the beginning of the first round where I think
His back was turned to you.
where I done a back kick and he turned away.
Yeah.
And then I did a flinch, like I was gonna do something, and I was like,
You kept
ref, check on him.
Your
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
your character stepped into the
Something-
ring, Edson.
yeah,
Your
and
character stepped into the ring.
It's in my mind, he's a youth. He is 22 or something. I think he's 22, right? He's 22. The people in his corner is his mother and his girlfriend and stuff. I was like, if I was to do a turn back around, I was just clean the back of his head off.
Yeah. That'll be right
And
back.
the newspaper article say
This big man, this little boy.
and I'll be
Basically,
like,
Big
want to do
man
that
thump
now.
up the little boy.
So now-
This
What
national
was it?
taekwondo
You can't really
athlete.
blame the referee because what's the ref supposed to do? Like do a spinning back fist stand?
Just stop. Right. I can't, right?
At
So-
a certain point, the ref is powerless. At a certain point.
So I had a conversation with Kamada, like I did the day after, the night before, the
There was
night
a
after.
couple days after. There
Some
was a couple
conversation I
days
had. I was
after.
like, do you like? I was trying to figure out, if I go to a next competition, do I do that? Am I supposed to do that? I was like, I think my conclusion was, I do think I would do it.
Right. So, and my point, which
Yeah.
would be my last point on this particular topic,
I don't.
is that if it becomes a repetitive precedent that the refereeing is unfair and does not prioritize the safety of the athlete, the other athletes, the younger ones, the amateurs, the ones who've never had fights, they look at this and they say, them refereeing going and call these shots. I could do illegal moves in this. I
So you
could.
think he should have
And
been
I'm gonna-
disqualified immediately?
So in any fight I'm not going to throw illegal moves completely out of the fight. I go and watch and see if the ref really calling this. And I go and throw my hand where I could throw my hand and kick a nuts if I could kick a nuts and hit the back of the head.
So
And
this is
to
a
me,
short
that's
question.
the most dangerous part.
This is
because wait, let me finish. And I was saying it's the last one. It's the last one.
But I wanna-
if it is, I have a child
Okay.
and I carry my child to kickboxing training every day, like 3 days a week for the month. I pay an X amount a month for training fees, and I'm doing this for 6-7 years. And they go into their first kickboxing match, and somebody thump them up behind the head, and they get a concussion, and I take them to the hospital or whatever. I'd be sorely disappointed in the entire institution for allowing this to happen to my child, because during the training, for how much ever years we training, we learning the rules of the sport. We learning to be someone who have character. You're respecting the sport, you're respecting your opponent, right? It's not a dog-eat-dog thing. So although we say that kickboxing and boxing is more dog-eat-dog than traditional forms of martial arts, do we want to continue along that trajectory where nobody has respect for the rules of it? Even the referees. I'm just saying. And on top of the fact that the referee wasn't able, let's say
They give him a lot to respond to.
they're powerless at some point in time. The referee is not the only judge. There are other judges there. And this youth man was not disqualified, not necessarily penalized, other than the 1 point deduction for hitting several times. Yeah. So it becomes a very dangerous thing for the people who are looking, who can say now, my next fight, I go and kick a man in the groin.
Yeah.
My next fight, I go and cuff a man behind the head. If I realize I go and lose this fight, I'll do anything that I need to do to win.
Okay. I know.
And that's
you
what
have
I-
a lot to respond to.
Yeah.
I want to intercept before you respond.
Okay.
Okay. So to piggyback on what Kamada's saying, right? Part of the difference. So first thing, in my prep for this competition, I called other coaches. So this is really something to look at because like I'm going to now admit my fault, which falls in lines of this, right? Because they have certain rules that are like you're not supposed to do a low kick below the knee. I think that's written down, right?
It is actually.
You're not supposed to grab a leg. You're not supposed to grab a leg during the fight, right? So I talked to a few coaches. I was like, all the Arabs or athletes, always be telling them not to kick below the leg, or you be telling them not to grab legs. And they were like, they said to me, and I was in agreement based on the RABZ, because every time we have a RABZ fight, or fight in general, we come back and we do a video review with the whole gym, right? We had concluded that low kicks below the knee actually don't get called. They never make a issue of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they were like, if someone grabs and punches, is don't be an issue either, right? Is though a lot of times they can get through with it. I've seen it called before,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's don't get called. So I was just like, hey, as I was prepping, I was like, should I be preparing myself to not kick? I was like, no, kick below the knee. Hold the if they you have to know that they might hold the leg, and you might have to punch while they hold the leg, or start practicing the defense of holding the leg, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, because I know that even though this is the rule, this rule might be facilitated, right? So that's part of my preparation, even though I know the rule on paper saying this thing.
Yeah.
And previously, like maybe a year and a half ago, I'd be like, oh no, guys, no, you can't do low kicks. You can't kick below the knee. That's against the rules. That's against the rules,
I'm
right?
a real stickler for rules. Like even when you're playing cards and thing, the reason why there are rules is because there's a safe way to play the game that can protect everybody.
It was before before Joshua's last RABZ fight. I remember
there was a scene in his fight where he was
Joshua was fighting LeJean, right?
LeJean.
And I remember beforehand, I was like, because as a coach, I real big on the rules because usually I could protest in Taekwondo. You could protest one time, you could protest the rules immediately. There's a video replay. So I trying to find out the rules to make sure he know beforehand. Hey, you could get pointed, you could get penalized for this, you get penalized for that. So no look, and then we watch the video replay and we're like, I guess guys going forward, that is
These
not
rules
this.
don't apply.
This is not a rule
rules
that I'm going to
apply.
like make sure you stick to because your opponent mightn't and they'll have an advantage if right.
Yeah.
So so that's one. The second one is more so that my take on competition has always been across all the stuff that we coach, boxing, grappling, taekwondo, etc. Everybody compete. Go and compete. It don't matter if you feel like you're ready, and you have to get in as much volume as possible.
This is in taekwondo.
No, across everything. Across everything, I was like, you need to get as much volume as possible. If it was in Virginia, if it was in some next country, you'd be competing. They'd have a competition every weekend, and all they'd be cracking it. In Trinidad, they have too few competitions to really garner skill. Don't worry about winning and losing, and you have to just go and compete. But after competing, after being a competitor myself, I'm like, I now have to adjust my dial to when I tell somebody, go and compete. Because I'm like, I gonna be the person who had to talk
to their parents.
Or their wife. If something happened, I had to be the one who now had to explain.
Come to me with
who had to explain and be like, well, I know the rules. It is. I know the rules. But
the referendum do their own thing.
No, this is why I fight as well, because I don't just know the sport on paper from the years that I've been in it, but I compete in it like on the ground. I'm a foot soldier as well, if you want to say that. But I mean, y'all have a whole Harry Potter book for me to reply.
So no, I guess.
I'd like to tell me that any sport you go in, anywhere in the world, it go have people fighting with the referee, because the referee and make the right call, whether it's football,
any sport. NBA finals might get an elbow.
I get that.
Elbow not in the rules.
I get that.
But see, the thing is, in fighting now, you could actually seriously damage a person.
Exactly.
Not just like bar tackling a man and you might break his ankle. The worst thing you could do is like break a man's ankle for bar tackling.
Yeah, but
right?
you could give people brain damage in the sport.
Yeah, exactly. So this sport is a lot more centered around like the actual triggering nervous system. You could change a man's life for that. Which is why and again, this is from me talking as an athlete, you cannot just put any and everybody to step inside the ring like that. It's not karate where you have that certain level of respect in a dojo and all that. The culture is very different. And as an athlete, I would never put Charlo in. I would have taken Charlo the minute I saw that he wasn't mentally there to compete, because like I was saying with you, and I saw when you went down on the ground. And one thing I highly disagree with, just from an athlete point of view, is both your hands on the ground. There was no
defense.
Yeah, there was no let me take all the accountability and responsibility myself to defend myself.
Cover my
and that's why I told you, like, even though my knee was on the ground, I was checked out the fight. I was still preparing for
hands up.
I was preparing for Joshua to pull out a gun and shoot me because he had the chance.
Hands up. Yeah.
And that's just, as an athlete, you need to know that's what you're preparing for.
Guard up at all times.
Literally, it was the last thing on my mind that I would be on the ground
because of a hit to the head and get next one.
And it was literally I would
Nobody
never
expected
imagine that would be a thing that would happen.
Let me tell you, I aggressively went searching online to see if there was footage of that happening anywhere else in the world ever.
It does happen.
I know, but what I'm saying, in the way that it happened, without him being disqualified.
No, I think if it was a different ref, he would have either gotten disqualified or gotten a 2-point deduction. I remember when Nicholas Elliott
2 points at least.
He fought in RABZ 3. That same thing happened to him. He got pushed down on the ground, and at least a second pass.
True.
I just remember he ended up on the ground, Nicholas Elliott. He was fighting Jamal Walker, and that was our first disqualification because Jamal friggin' did the most. It was a real entertaining fight,
Right.
We could probably go search it up after because it's on YouTube. But Jamal got every opportunity to fix himself in the fight. Like he hit Nick same way you got hit. He hit Nicholas after he was on the ground. and got a 2-point deduction one time. But this is Rambuta refereeing it. That's why I said, like, it depends on who the referee is, because it is up to the referee's discretion.
Tell them what the referee tell you.
But I think it was a different if it was up to me.
Edson went to the ref and said, hey, I want to contest this. And the ref said, nah, boy, don't contest it.
True. That's crazy.
I'm just throwing that out there. And okay, so a reason why I'm throwing it out there again, I am absolutely so disgusted with the fact that Trinidad is known for the high level of corruption that it is known for. This fight was on pay-per-view. People had to see it. Yeah. And this was before. Even Joash's fight recently was also broadcast across the world where they rob him of his win. And I say in rob him plain and bold, right? But
daylight robbery.
I feel like Trinidad in particular, when we make the news internationally, it's always something really, really bad. And it's always something corrupt or underhanded and disgusting. And that's why I'm so passionate about this particular thing. I feel, why is it always some kind of who you know, nepotism kind of thing? You know what I mean? If you get the right ref, you'll get through. But if you get the wrong ref, you ain't gonna get through.
Yeah.
And I look at, there were other fights that get better refs. And I'm like, every athlete deserves this level of respect.
We will put out a notice. Actually, we have it there, but we will put out a notice, because this is something that I had to bring up to the federation myself. One thing that I don't agree with, and again, I can speak from both perspectives of being in the ring and out of the ring, I don't agree with the levels changing of the referees, because you would see the difference. Yeah, you would see the difference in experience, and there were some people there who just did not have, to me, the proper qualifications and experience that they should have had before going up on the RABZ stage. I think that's the biggest thing in the Caribbean right now. You need to have a certain standard.
Bear in mind before this podcast, Kamala said that she's not going to talk about the refs, because if she started talking about the refs, it should become too emotional. She said she'd become too emotional, so she's like, I am not going to talk about the refs.
No, but I see the refs. They're very good people. They're good people. I just think that there's a little disparity with the experience level. But
it was one of the most experienced refs that told him not to query, which I think it's ridiculous. At
not
least
necessarily. He's an experienced coach, but when it comes to kickboxing, referee,
fair enough.
Yeah.
So, I know he have his hands in real things.
Yeah. He's an experienced fella, but to say to experience specifically for kickboxing refereeing, I could count it on my hand, I think.
So he was underqualified to be a ref. Are you saying that?
You're loading that question.
No, but okay. So again, you mentioned
I don't think he's
the level of the
I think that he is still human. He's still a little inexperienced compared to a lot of the other referees like Ramuta, Princely.
And they'll always have more experienced people.
So I think that I don't agree with this call, and I can only say what I agree or disagree with. And I agree that I think that at least a 2-point deduction should have been given for how blatant that was.
I agree with
and that is a thing of the discretion of the refs as well. Like when Joshua James fought LeSean, LeSean grabbed his kick, I think in 91st 10 seconds. But if you look at the referee was going to stop it, but realized Josh recovered and the fight could have gone on. And that is what you do based on like the level of the athletes going up. If the athlete level gets higher, the referee starts to give you a little more.
Nah, man, I feel like the rules should apply all the time. It shouldn't apply if you could take it or if you can't take it.
Well, it's not a matter if you could take it, it's how blatant it is. Is it how much is it affecting the fight? And what happened was
then they need to put that in the rules. Let them know these rules are subject to XYZ. You understand what I'm saying? So, and what I suggested to Edson in our very long conversation is maybe at the beginning of the match that the rules are reiterated for the crowd to know, because plenty of people come in there, they have no experience in the sport, they don't know. Their friend come in to fight, they come to see it. So the crowd don't really know what is legal from what is illegal.
But see, that's part of the part of the reason of that is that Trinidad has not experienced fighting in a very, very long time.
So you are in a very, very important position right now.
I know the position I'm in, and I be hearing all kind of great madness from everybody.
You can make the difference.
Yeah, and honestly, we're doing our best too, but it's a very finicky thing. People are very funny to deal with.
Don't take my criticism as judgment. It is support. It is support to make it better. Yeah. Because you're a young person. You're one of us, right? You're a young person. That means you are the future of it. You have taken an initiative to bring this forum to reignite a certain excitement amongst martial artists. I feel like there wasn't this level of excitement for a long time.
And a part of it is when I started competing, there was nothing for me to not competing. When I started training, there was nothing for me to fight.
To look forward to.
And I was like, what the fuck am I really training for?
Exactly.
Who else is feeling like this? So we ended up saying, like, frick that, we're gonna just end up doing
something.
something. Yeah. And there was a
It's
lot of
great.
pushback. There was a lot of pushback from a lot of coaches. A few of them they actually told me just, hey, those do that, keep it to the professionals, let the professionals do that. And I was like, nobody.
But how do you get to the level of professional
Yeah,
if you don't get
exactly.
no chance to fight before
So
that?
I have to give a big up to Adam Ramuta, Bharat Ramuta, Warren Gill, the Royal Fitness team, because in RABZ 1, those are the first people that really gave me my chance. Everybody else said, nah, I don't want to work with you. Princely Isidore as well. Everybody else said they don't want to work with us. I had to train like 4 athletes for that first fight.
But you're doing something new, and it's breaking what they're accustomed to, and a lot of people are afraid of change and new things, and coming outside of the box that they've become comfortable with.
Yeah.
So you are in a very, very unique position to change what martial arts looks like for the future. Future athletes in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you can see the standard has raised there from the time we started RABZ 1. The athletes have raised, the refereeing and the judging has raised.
How did you decide to start RABZ 1?
Well, I was real giddy when I started fighting, and my
At Rough House.
Yeah, at Rough House. And that was before, I think I was a little before COVID or during COVID. And one of my friends who lives in Barbados, he's one of the founders as well. It's 3 of us. He lived in Barbados at the point in time. We used to tease him and call him Bajan. So he comes to visit probably once every year to 2 years. And he said, hey boy, I buy our gloves. He's 220 pounds. I'm 150, 60 pounds. So he comes, he buys a plane ticket to come down, and he sends me a picture of our gloves that he just bought. I still have the picture on my phone. And he says, hey boy, we're gonna fight when I come down. I say, all right, wood. So I know I train, even though I'm 50 pounds lighter than this man. So I go and message my group chats, and eventually we are fighting on my porch. This is back in 2019, 2020. And they're probably 15, 16 guys drinking Stag and Carib around us, and we're fighting in my porch. And we actually have a video of it and all. And it was a little sparring session. It wasn't a real fight or anything like that. And after that, we were this doesn't happen in the country. We have fun doing it. Why not do it? Everybody wants.
So RABZ 1 was just the 2 of you?
We wouldn't call it RABZ 1. It was just really it used to be called Backyard RABZ.
Okay.
All right. And this is something my team is kind of finicky of talking about. But again,
it starts somewhere.
Yeah,
and you have to be appreciative of your
and I could go on and on talking about how Backyard RABZ was. But the idea really spawned in my back porch with me and my best friend and a few other brethren who are now part of the committee.
Who would win?
It was a draw. Jeremiah, the announcer,
nice,
he was the referee, and he was commentating through
everything.
Yeah, and then eventually we use the entirety of COVID to plan and build up and research and do all this, and I met the right people, and then we ended up, what we were saying, we go and spend some money on, because I had savings from years before. I used to work in a pet shop cleaning tanks. I used to babysit. I used to wash cars. I almost worked CPAP at a point in time. Just to make the money, because I knew that the opportunity was the bus coming, and the luck was my bus ticket and preparation.
Right.
So I said, I don't know what's going to come, but something's going to come, and I'm going to have the money to be able to do it.
That is real good. Because I remember after it was TTT. Which interview was this? CNC3. We had stand up outside and we was talking.
Yeah.
It was CNC3. We had an interview. We had an interview, and you told me that you had work, and you usually have work on the day of RABZ. I don't know. I don't know if this was cultural or what. I was surprised. I was just like, you have a job? You have a job.
You're doing
I was
something
really
other than
shocked.
this?
I was really shocked that this wasn't your full-time project, that you were just, I thought you were dedicating everything. I don't know how. To be coaching, training,
and
working, and doing the promotion of the event. That is a lot of hats. That's a lot of hats.
I think you,
and I should have more hats. They probably have more hats that we don't know about. But that's a lot
I
of
don't think
hats.
you're just promoter.
Even in our training sessions, there was one of the days, he's bang, 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 phone. He answered, and he's like, shadow box. And all right, cool. And he's there. You put on the phone. Right. And as soon as he would turn back, he was in a meeting, fighting, sparring with me one time.
He's
in a full-on meeting.
Yeah.
And at one point, they was like, Josh.
Why breathing hard so?
Mute your mic. Because you just like, he just went
Joshua, what do you do?
Well, right now I worked customs for not customs, in distribution, the supply chain.
Okay.
For the last couple of years, down from like warehousing to admin to purchasing officer,
Nice.
to customer service. But now I work in the Ministry of Agriculture, so forestry division. So
Vibe.
what you call a certified bushman.
Yeah.
No, hence the vibes coming.
True. Yeah. It's called bush for living.
No, that's a peaceful lifestyle.
Yeah, it's nice. So like what my day would look like is, and like I made peace with it before I started RABZ because I knew it would take. I always watch like these other entrepreneurs say that you have to be willing to sacrifice weekends, birthday parties, friends.
For the things that you love.
Yeah, like
But he does go, child, let us go. The birthday party. He does go to the party. I don't know how he go to
don't
the
go
parties
all.
too.
No, I think
You
the
don't go
difference
on.
is my thing is not his is different. What makes me money is also being outside and being
Yeah.
connected. So the more I am
island
in an
man, you know.
event, is that my company is almost like a cultural agency.
Yeah.
So you want stills,
Yeah.
you want this, you want that.
Yeah.
So you
I
have to
tend
be
to
outside.
resonate.
You have to be
with
on the
this
avenue.
lifestyle. Yeah.
No, it sounds like you just be real lineman.
No. So two things can be trying to save that. So like the big man thing, like usually
Networking.
I be outside and somebody will see me lineman and they be like, hey, by the way, don't forget this add a message here. Let's have this event next week.
I
And
agree
we
with that.
need 3 jumbies. And I'm like, all right, cool. If
his
you
line of
didn't-
work is more get.
If you didn't see me,
It'd be harder to remember me.
yeah.
or even like clients, like
So
influencer. thing.
you
Almost like
use
he
be
is the
home.
brand.
Use be home. I'm about to sleep and be like, nah, but I have to go. I have to the Av tonight.
Nah, I don't.
If I don't hit the Av tonight, if I don't hit the Av tonight, I have to.
sleep now. If he
I
outside
have to.
already.
If I don't go out, I go again.
If you're outside already, no. So I resonate with Charles' lifestyle because it's similar with me. I teach yoga and do massages, right? But a lot of my clientele come from just interacting with people, and if you
Yeah.
don't see me, you ain't gonna interact with me, and that directly correlates to how many clients I get.
You ain't gonna
So
remember.
I go outside and let's say we having a few drinks and we lime and then somebody get up and I hear them ball, oh God, we're going to watch your back there.
I think so. That's
Take my number, come and check my Monday. So it really does depend on what you do.
I feel you.
You have to put yourself in certain social settings
Yeah.
to get the clients that you.
He was giving a breakdown. He was giving a breakdown.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a big thing. I mean, I can give the breakdown, but a big thing for me is you need to have. And I read this in Think and Grow Rich. It's one of the first books I read, and it said that you can only go so far by yourself. You need a mastermind team. I think they call it a mastermind team to complement you. Like you have 11 men on a football pitch, and you could be as good as Steven Gerrard or friggin' Cristiano Ronaldo, but you can't win a football game by yourself.
By yourself,
You know, as good as they are. So that was the first thing I started to implement. You know, there was one man who was good with music. And I think God really, I always tell them, God puts us in the same circles for a reason, because we had one guy who was good with music and DJs, one guy who was good with photography. My brother was good with technology and cameras and all that. I think I'm good with like marketing and networking. The next brother is good with talking to people. And everybody just complemented all the places that we needed. And we put that together, and I had to learn how to delegate, really and truly. But my day really comes from, I wake up in the morning and go to work, come home from work and go to training, because I have to stay integrated in the community. And then from training, I take a shower, eat, and then I do RABZ until I fall asleep.
Are you training to stay integrated in the community, or is a quest for skills still top?
Honestly, before RABZ, it was really, and Rough House had this thing before. Well, you've been in Rough House. Rough House had this thing before, when you come for your first day, which is free. If it is you really do want to stick with them, they make you write down your goal on a piece of paper now. I don't even know if they still have it or not. But what I wrote down was not to stay integrated within the community. It's a big motivating factor now.
Yeah.
But I wrote down, I want to be that person that nobody wants to step in the ring with. That's what I really wanted to do when I started.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, it worked because you'd always say it. It's not a big community. You'd always say it from down the grapevine that there were a lot of coaches who I used to be begging to get fights from people.
Right.
And people didn't want to take the fights with me because I don't know why they like the culture here. Like people don't like to lose.
Lose, yeah.
No, they don't. They don't like to get experience.
We are a people with very big egos and a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And because it's a small island, people talk a lot and you don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Wrong thing. Oh, you got that
So
lost.
what I ended up having to do was fight people outside of my weight class
Right.
a lot of the time now. I think out of my
That help you prove yourself.
out of my 14 fights, I probably have 2 fights in my weight class out of my 14 fights. And when I say outside my weight class, I mean I'm 155 to 58 pounds now.
Right.
I fight people 175 to 180 pounds, and that's happened for almost all my competitions. And the only fight I think think I fought that was 100 on, again, in my weight bracket was against Davin, who just happened to have like 50 more fights than me. So I was like, so you
said something interesting just now. I'm going to change the direction of...
Wait, I'm a pause. Hold it. I'm really interested in his daily schedule. I'm really interested in a daily schedule. So far, what you described was you go to work and then you train.
Yeah.
It's just those two things.
So...
And then do rap.
What I do,
Rhapsody fall asleep.
So, yeah, so I wake up in the morning, I go to work. Genuinely, I would take calls while I'm in work. So it'll be raps throughout the day, honestly. And then I would go to work, come home, and then I would train for a couple hours because I do still compete as well.
You train after training at home, is what you're saying?
No, I train
after work.
After work,
you train at home or at Rough House?
At Rough House.
Okay.
Whenever I can't make Rough House, I have a bag or two.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I used to study in school, last year I finished my bachelor's. It used to be do some hours of study and then do work and I didn't do RABZ work until I fall asleep. So it'd be work, training, school, then RABZ.
What time is fall asleep doing RABZ work?
When I was doing school, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Then I wake back up for 8 o'clock.
What were you studying?
Business management.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, I see the thing, what I mentioned about sacrifice is that I was going into the medical field. I was going to study physiotherapy in Jamaica, but I had to choose between doing that and then starting a business.
Right.
So I had to sacrifice that and change career paths completely, which I spent like probably 2 to 3 years preparing for. So I again, you have to sacrifice that. There's a lot of friendships that like got neglected as well. But your friends have to be people that would understand the path that you're on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vision. And with you.
Yeah.
So this falls straight into the question that I wanted to ask next. It's going off topic. We're going off topic.
But now that I'm finished school, I don't go to sleep 3 o'clock in the morning every night.
What time is going to sleep?
Nah, like at least like 12, 1 o'clock now. Okay. School took off for a few hours.
Completely off topic. So this is our 12th episode and we've been known to hit some kind of topics. We'd go into the spiritual realm a little bit sometimes. And you said a few things just now, like that certain people are placed in your life.
Yeah.
And that you believe that God placed them in your life for this reason.
Yeah.
Do you see RABZ as a spiritual thing? Like, do you feel like it's a calling, like something that you had to do?
That's a real good question.
Yeah.
So recently I've been real heavy on like my prayer and really trying to keep my purpose in life robust because after like years of like losing sleep, losing friends, losing love, and opportunities for all those other things, like it does kind of take a toll on you mentally and you have to reaffirm and remind yourself like why I started this nonsense in the first place.
No, true.
And I always talk to Dylan about it. We always look at each other and say, you know what? I could see why this person stopped that business after 4 months. I could see why this person, like, but we don't hear about, you ever realize you hear about our businesses and then you just fall
don't hear about it.
Yes. When the hard work really hits, you see what you made of. But back to the question, I have been starting to reaffirm myself and go back to my prayer and like why I do think it's a purpose I've been given in life. And I've been reminding myself, and I just thought of the other day when I was in some prayer that back in school, and again, this is nothing, I don't think this is anything that I wanted to do. Like I'm in a leadership position, which has its challenges, like you were saying before. Because I'm responsible for a lot that I'm not necessarily at fault with.
Or can control.
Yeah, or can't control, but it still falls back on me.
Yeah.
And there was a teacher, what was his name? Cooper. There was a short Cooper and a tall Cooper. I think his name was Nigel, if I'm not mistaken. He saw me with my friends, and I think this is where like I kind of started to pick up on it. And he pulled me aside, and because I was a real delinquent in school, I used to get all kind of D's and C's and detention every day. And no, I tell you, that's what I detention
every day.
Yeah. I was real bad, handing up all my assignments and labs late, and ducking class and thing. And he pulled me up.
What you said?
Fatima. I was one of the worst students. Yeah, one of the worst students. Yeah, real embarrassing. And nothing I'm proud of. I'm not advocating for that.
Cooper Police Square.
Yeah, he was my track and field coach, and he really did look out for me. And he pulled me aside, and he said like, "Hey, like I'm watching you and your friends." And again, I didn't agree with it at the time, but he said like they do look to you and follow you a lot. Like be very careful of what you're doing. And I watched him. I was like, "You going mad or nobody else freaking follow me? I just do my own thing and whatever." Like there were people who like to lead the class to PE and cross the road and become the football team captain. I was like the last person to try to advocate to do that. And then all of a sudden I end up in like I kind of naturally gravitated towards leading a company or leading an actual sport in the country now. So I do think that I do have a purpose behind being in the position that I'm in. Because I do like to lead, I do like to influence and all that. But nobody really likes the responsibility of doing all that. And it's something I always opted out of doing. But like I do have to remind myself that, this is not necessarily something I like to be in, or I like to be in the position in, but like it is my purpose and it is what I got the talent to do. So yeah, I need to like own up to that and pull my pants up.
And what is your, this is my last big question.
Yeah.
What do you see the future of RABZ looking like?
Exactly what, and I take a lot of influence and inspiration. Exactly what you see in CPL, I want to see for RABZ. Like I think CPL influences a lot of people to go in a much better direction when it comes to that sport. But
Organized sports.
Yeah, it's an organized sport, and I think it's something you could only really get in the Caribbean. It's not replicable anywhere else. You can't get CPL in Brazil. And I wanted to make RABZ unique like that, so we could have shows along the islands throughout the year.
Nice.
And kind of curb a lot of what you get very commonly in islands is a lot of like gangs and gang warfare and all that, and impoverished communities. And fighting, you would see like Mike Tyson or like Floyd Mayweather and all that. All of them got pulled out from like a very impoverished and bad lifestyle. Harsh environments from fighting, because at the end of the day, we said it's a dance. And I think it's I was speaking to a guy, Dion Carrington. He has a book. Go check out his book, Dion Carrington. But he told me from what he sees fighting is it's a healthy form of expression. And at the end of the day, people will express themselves in one way or another, whether it is you're doing yoga, you're shooting a gun, or you're fighting in a ring. And it's a very healthy and controlled form of expression. And I think that's a tool that we could really use to help like shift Trinidad into a healthier place.
And I think it forces you to check yourself.
Yeah,
check yourself real quick.
One point that you made, like, you can't get lashed without looking to get mad and reacting that way.
Yeah.
No, I think in the ring it forces you to
be more in control of the
understand
emotions.
Understand yourself.
In a gym, it's happening in a gym. You're walking in the gym, you're rough on the streets, and then you walk in the gym and somebody who 20 pounds lighter than you, who trained for 2 months,
thump you up.
And then they get humble. You say good morning and good afternoon.
I remember there's a youth man who trains with us now in Rough House. Like I remember he came in for his first day with his dad, and I think his dad knows he's a little wild and thing like that.
Right. And
he had on these small little gloves, which in fight culture and gym culture is like a real bad practice.
Right. It's too small for him.
Yeah, you could damage somebody. And he's like, I think he's shorter than me, he's younger than me. I think he's like 200 pounds at least. But he hasn't fought before, and he just gearing up. He said, I want to spar somebody. And I think he just wanted to come and get some steam off, but for the wrong reasons.
Right.
And
because he thought he was going to beat somebody.
Yeah. I think he thought he was going to advantage somebody because he vexed or he big or whatever.
Right.
And then Ronaldo, he's like one of the coaches in the course, right? He picks up for when Adam isn't coaching. He was like, Joshua, go and spar with him now. I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, you know what to do. I was like, yeah, you're right. He didn't put anybody else knew what to do it. And I was just playfully, when I was sparring him, I was playfully letting him know that you're not in control. You need to pat down. You need to know your place, or it's like the wrong person will hit you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And it just like when I was sparring Charlo, there's the time and place to check him in a good and healthy way. I won't try to knock him out and bruise up his ego and all that. And after that, he comes regularly now. He's a real nice fella. He comes regularly and he trains properly now.
I think it's very important when we acknowledge that some people come to this class to blow off steam.
Yeah.
And it's a healthy way to do that. They learn a lot about themselves and how to control their emotions.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that can translate into so many different aspects of your life afterwards.
Yeah.
So we watch movies like Rocky and Creed, and we see that plenty fighters have very harsh backgrounds.
Yeah.
A lot of them come, and there's probably some elder or somebody in their community that say, come, let me train you. Come, let me guide you here, because you're going to end up in prison.
But they end up as father figures as well.
They become father figures, which is the point that I'm getting to, especially for men, because there are women that get into the field, of course, but especially for young boys who outside, you're outside and you could get your hands involved in things that not necessarily constructive. And when you come to a place where there's so much positive and healthy manly bonding, male energy, you can feel a lot more purpose driven in your day-to-day activities. So instead of going outside and lime with your big brother and his friends who lineman on the blockhouse, you'd be like, nah boy, I go and train. And there's a certain level of respect that you get from your peers when they know that you're going to to train this martial art and you're dedicating yourself to it,
Yeah.
you're putting in the hours, you're putting in the time, then you have a competition. Them same guys on the block coming to support you. You know what I mean? So it kind of takes it's such an important role, I think, in society, especially in Trinidad, and trajectory that we've been going, just more and more crime year after year after year after year. And there's some guys who naturally have it. They really have it.
No, we have real talents in this country.
Listen, they naturally have it, but they just don't have the guidance. They don't have the option. They don't know that this is a possible option for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you said that the future of RABZ looks like that for you.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope that at some point that you start a campaign that goes into schools and get these young kids,
Basically,
you know?
I've thought of all that, and my mom, real tries to push me down that road as well, but I say I'm not a friggin' octopus.
No, you can't do it by yourself.
I could only do so many
Nah.
things at once.
You're starting good. You're starting
I
good.
think at the right time it's supposed to happen, it will.
Yeah, but
something will open up.
I think even more naturally as well. I like to look at things as a naturally occurring ecosystem.
Yeah, it will come to you.
So
You put it
I
in.
expect RABZ to be at the top of the food chain, that kind of light at the end of the tunnel that inspires everything else underneath it happening. Like I think Princely was telling me a time there was a little boy who came to this was RABZ 1, This not even like the shows we have now.
This was you didn't know about RABZ 7 at RABZ 1.
No, yeah. This little boy came and he watched one of the fighters. I think it might have been Joshua James or Randy when they were fighting in the first main event we had. And he's like, "Hey, I want to be like him, boy. What's he doing? Like, how I could do that?" And it all of a sudden it sparked like, what could you do from the ground now? Like, he's gonna go now look for a gym.
Yeah.
And if there is no gym, like somebody who sees him might be inspired to start a gym, whether it is in C-Lots or Beat Them or wherever it is. So from then you don't have the athlete who hasn't done anything. You have gyms starting to get formed. You have coaches starting to.
Yep.
Yeah, you have the whole ecosystem being built there, and then
So that's what I love about RABZ, because there are a lot of spectators. You're gathering a lot of support. You're gathering a lot of people coming to each event is more than last time, and there are a lot of young people that are watching and getting inspired.
You see, she loves something about it.
I know that's the main thing I love about it. That the young people that watching us and being inspired, you just want them to not, come in and hit somebody in the back of the head.
Yeah, I think you should do the whole podcast. I think you should do the podcast. I think it'll
so
help.
too.
Yeah, I mean,
Call us.
I was watching the development of UFC. I'm not sure if you ever saw that documentary.
I've seen every documentary. I'm sure.
What's the head of UFC? His name again? Dana White was talking about how
many
far
times
in
he
depth
failed.
how far in depth he went, and only after doing the competitor, the Ultimate Fighter,
series, TV
season one, he went further into that, and only in season 2, after they had one fight that was like exciting, it blew up, and that was after like a good few UFCs had happened.
To a lot of companies, like I think Red Bull as well. I always do the research on these companies. UFC was millions of dollars. I think they were like $11 million at least in debt, like after their first like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And this is like this is twice as long as we've been in operation. Red Bull after the first 3 years was like, I think $6 million in debt. And then they had to find something else. So like I do expect to be profiting, and I'm driving a Mercedes.
I hope why say that?
As of right now, as of right now, right now.
Come in.
I don't like this is very
Undo
quick.
that.
Yes.
Don't worry, I tell you,
Right
it's
now,
coming.
what
I
do you-
have real juju. I have real mouth. It coming.
Yeah.
I know it's coming. Like just like when I was in my fight at Oli for the Nationals fight, and I went in that ring, and to me there was absolutely no way that the outcome was I wasn't winning. Like the only outcome was I was taking on the gold medal and going home. I was putting all my energy into that. And this is how it feels as well. Like I feel like this is the only outcome that could happen. And like I'm willing and prepared to do what it is needs to be done. Well, as I'm sacrificing sleep or energy or money or whatever it takes, that I'm doing it.
Ministry of Sports or sport companies like do grants for you guys?
I've gotten once, but the links is the biggest.
If anyone watching the podcast tonight and has links,
If there was ever a sporting event, that's not cricket or football to sponsor, I think it'll be RABZ. I feel like you're like on the cutting edge of making combat sports entertaining. And like it's such an easy thing to have sponsors for this.
There's a lot of politics behind it as well.
You know what it is too? It is, from what I have seen, it is hard to get these sponsorships because a lot of them looking at, I don't know you or your company or your group yet. So if you only until you have some kind of traction or movement,
that is true,
is when they're looking to come on.
So we asking anybody watching the podcast right now who had the link.
And you know what has helped? You know what has helped?
Jumping.
What I realized, unfortunately, because I think in a similar fashion, I was inspired by RABZ too.
Yeah.
And my company had nothing to do with combat sports.
Exactly.
We still talking. I just buy a whole bunch of skip ropes because I really, really enjoy the training and I want to implement way in which I train
Aspects
for
of it.
boxing
Mm-hmm,
and kickboxing into how before we start.
I would not have started kickboxing if it wasn't for RABZ.
True.
I wouldn't. I would just be like, the event's too small. They don't have enough people coming out. It's kind of like
really
it's
like-
not entertaining. It's not entertaining for the people, but because of how many people were coming out and how entertaining the whole production was, I was like, this looks like something I want to do, an experience.
Something to work towards.
Yeah.
We need to work towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what has helped it too is back to that when you were asking like why I was outside, why I always thinking. I sure if Josh had the time or was in that space and everybody always saying, oh well that's them RABZ men, that's that RABZ team. Somewhere somebody is gonna click in their mind like, you know that man always living with me in my event here in Tipsy Ibis or wherever they can. You know, they already have the event coming up next week. Let me go.
The connection would be made.
And that's because,
Exactly.
again, you also said it earlier, the links and the nepotism and everything is a brethren thing. Everything is a brethren thing in this country. I not going there because it looked like a fun thing. I go in there become a brethren day.
Yeah.
Or my dog's going.
No,
So
true.
if in that case, like they see Josh always lineman here or Josh always here, always doing this.
Yeah.
Men gonna start to come and do it now.
No, we'll just keep it going. Yeah, that you talk about your dogs. Yeah, my dog is an honorary member of the podcast.
He's have his
The viewers just had to get accustomed.
that's what
Yeah.
he have his input.
He's agreeing with you.
Yeah. I
it's
felt the
input.
support. I think that's one of the things that you realize you have to do exactly. That's one of the things you have to do as a new company and as a new business in this climate. Because in Trinidad, there's no rule book you're following. There's no rubric.
Yeah.
There's nothing you kind of shape in your own way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, for me, my experience, I had to figure out, how could I get people to really enjoy or come to jazz events, young people to come to
Yeah,
jazz
young
events.
people in
or-
particular.
But
Yeah.
you changed up the genre a little bit. It's not jazz alone. It's
not jazz alone, and it was a fusion, but at the same time, I could say anything and tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But how
How
I
we
can
move it,
get
people,
you
yeah.
to really
yeah,
come.
so-
So we had to kind of where you see me. When you see me, you're seeing vibes, and you see me and my Jaiso team,
Yeah.
and you're seeing that vibes, and you translate our energy outside here to, you know, I go come the thing. So when if they constantly seeing the RABZ team, and they constantly seeing them, and you know, them always,
He's saying I have to lie more.
And get a card. You have to get a card.
But also,
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
wanted to put
You know,
class
even
in
like-
class
it's
in
so
the next
funny
time.
because right before you came, Edson had asked me, "How you know Chalo?" And I was just like,
you know,
and the thing is, I met you at Holistic, the Holistic Music School. I was the admin of Holistic Primary School, and the fact that in my brain didn't click that it was music. Because I know and then I see Chalo Lyman here. Then I see Chalo in this event there. And I see Chalo doing this. And I'm like, Chalo does a lot of different things. So they're taxing my brain to remember where I really know Chalo
And
from.
Charlo is omnipresent throughout the island.
And the good thing is what you just said is that for Jaiso to be a successful band, for the event to be successful, it could not have just been within the music community.
you gotta see me.
They had to
Gotta
see
see us.
They had
Gotta
to
see
see
us
how they're going and
constantly.
doing things. So a lot of people, yes, they know you're a musician, but they may have met you in a different avenue of life, and they come out to support your event and then realize,
But
wait,
see me as a
Charlo does do all these
fighter.
things.
So
Right?
now there's like, when is the next fight? I'm
So
like,
people who would have met you at RABZ, they don't know anything about your musical background. They don't know anything about your still talking, nothing at all. They see you and you be like, I see him in the last RABZ, you know, he's a fighter.
Even vice versa too. Like I think it's a give and take because there are people who didn't know about RABZ and they saw
And he
Charlo
brought
coming.
exactly. They were people who the fields may not have crossed. The music field
For sure.
and the fighting field
Yeah.
highly likely would not have had the same people in it.
Yeah.
And now we've had a tap into that group of people to come into
But generally, people don't know they love it until they love it, you know.
I
Until they
saw
see
a
it.
bunch of people from my high school this last RABZ.
Sure.
And they're like, this is my first RABZ. I never come before. This is real excited. This is real excited. And they're going on and on and on. I look at them and I'm like, listen up.
and that's where it's like each one had to help one. You know, like I was always like, I think how long are on the RABZ committee? You just put me there a while.
Oh,
a while ago.
Christmas. Since I told them about the fight, I was like, don't come on the committee one time now.
He have the connections too.
I dare, so I'll sell my tickets and do my stuff. But it's like in any ways that I could support your thing and it's different, you could support my thing, and that's where I feel like everybody have to kind of pull the weight in order to let everybody could eat, everybody could drive a Benz if we all help.
We have to understand the ecosystem. That's what I keep saying. How do we say
It's
that?
an ecosystem.
Yeah,
Like, no.
you have to understand it.
He's a functionalist.
Yeah. You have to understand how it does work, you know. Yeah, I don't know if you ever did like agriculture and things like that, or like kept like fish tanks or anything like that.
So okay, my dad is a bushman. My dad is not a formally trained bushman, but an ancestrally trained bushman. My grandfather, my great grandfather, all of them is bushman.
Trevor says on them.
Right, so my grandfather's nickname was the corn man.
Okay.
Because he had a corn patch amongst other things that he used to grow, and he used to give, when he coming out from the cornfield, he used to stop by this old lady and drop a bag of corn there, drop by this man, drop by down, so everybody knew him as the corn man. My father have a piece of land in Princestown. He retired to his garden, right, with teak trees and a million different type of fig and a million different type of tamarind and mango and things. So I just grew up around bush things, right? But for me, nature in general has always been a big thing for me.
Yeah.
That's you know.
Well, I mean, I really love like aquariums as well. I'm now starting back one that I've had, but since I'm like, how old am I now? Boy, 27. Since I was like friggin' 5 years old, my father used to live with us in the house. He had a fish tank,
Right.
And I just kind of continue that tradition going up until I think last year.
The fish tank don't need fish alone. It needs all kind of things.
Exactly. It is. Yeah, exactly. It
We
is.
had fish tanks, but I live by a river.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like fancy fish. Right. Me and my sister used to go in the river and catch wabina and thing and come back and put it in the fish tank. Eventually we get little fighters and thing and thing. But I realize the same thing that you're gonna say, that it's an ecosystem. There's so many things that make up this little structure, this little lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we are just like that. You know, everybody have the part to play. To have the cleaner, to have the bus driver, to have the lawyers, to have the doctors. Everybody had a part to play. And when you approach a business like that, it's easier to delegate. As you say, you struggled with delegating before, but I'm sure you had to learn, I cannot do everything.
Yeah, the batting increase. Every animal has its place in the jungle.
Acknowledge people's skills, what they're good at, what they could bring to the table. Chalo knew plenty people he could talk, he could do all kind of things.
Would it be off-brand to do RABZ Juniors?
RABZ Juniors.
I think that'd be cool.
I've thought about it, and like a lot of people who have like varying opinions on it. I think it might be a little bit off-brand. For a RABZ event itself, I think we do a sub-event with the juniors. But I think when it comes to brand identity, RABZ strictly is persons over 18, the best of the best in the country. And that's why we started the Contender Series as well, which is a completely different brand for people who, they could be over 18, they could be under 18, but it's not the best of the best. It's like everyday Joe.
But it's RABZ Contender Series. It's
Trinidad Contender Series.
We
use that brand now for there's much less barrier to entry, and anybody could do it.
When is the next one? When is the next Contender
Series? That's the 5th of July. Yeah, so any piper, realistically speaking, could jump in the ring. And if we see that, hey boy, I didn't know this man had talent. He might not have a house, but he had talent. So
a piper walks off the street.
He's wearing gloves.
Yeah, he's like, all right, cool.
No, I wouldn't be the one fighting piper.
It might just be hard to find it after.
Yeah, no, we weigh on the scale there, and he could jump in the ring. Right. And if it is you think that you have the capacity fit and you had the talent, and we see that.
So they just message your RABZ page if they want to.
They can message the RABZ page and then would redirect him to the Trinidad Contender Series page. TCS for short.
TCS.
Yeah, Trinidad Contender Series.
Trinidad Contender Series. They message that page and then they could get a chance to fight on July
5th.
July 5th.
And there's a sign-up form and everything in the description.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a real nice vibe too. It's not like you have the big lights and the shows and everything. It's a more raw form of what RABZ is. Yeah. So you just have sweaty man coughing each other in a ring, and you're just hearing everything.
But they have some nice lights in that gym, though.
They have. We don't even use it. We just use the white light because, like,
is an investment.
Yeah, I mean, where the competitions I like fighting in is when I walk in a bear crates into the ring in the back of a bar, and they have a old drain smelling stink next to the ring.
No, I don't like that. I like that.
That is where I prefer to fight personally. Yeah, I love doing that. No, and I'll like complex.
Like Chalo.
Yeah,
he had a nice bucket. He had a nice bucket.
Yeah, it was coming back when I was vomiting.
True.
I get that vibes.
He's an AC vomiting. He's an AC.
I actually think I do my worst when it is I have more people watching me fight.
No, for sure. The pressures be a lot. Charlo, I didn't get to hear about your daily schedule.
So by day, I am a primary school teacher, primary school music teacher. Look, I'm in education.
Okay.
Are you still at holistic?
Now,
Oh.
I'll go back if ever
They call it.
they help. Yeah,
Right.
Day to day, 8:30 to 3. I am in a primary school teaching music. I often do after school lessons on some days. I
Like privately or in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
privately. I guess I'm one of the most reluctant influencers out there, a pseudo influencer.
Okay.
So I have reels to make based on whichever client calls and asks.
Okay.
So like I do work with like Angostura a lot. So they sometimes like, hey, just by the way, we need 4 reels for next week. Or I'll have that to do. So I'll have to like leave work, go home, maybe take a nap. And then I have some kind of content to film.
Reels, it's IG Reels. IG Reels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big reels.
Just some kind of content. And that's most of my day. That is nothing to do with Jaiso. Jaiso then comes up where, because I'm also, Jaiso is partnered with Lost Tribe, the Lost Tribe Mass Camp. So I'm one of the marketing sections there. So that's a whole next thing.
That's a whole next thing there.
Yeah, I'm always at the camp, the mass camp, helping out with whatever. That's kind of like event coordination as well too. So clients could always message the pages and they'd be like, hey, by the way, we want 4 Mukujumbis and 5 fire breeders for this event next week. So I'll be at the camp organizing costumes, organizing stills, having a meeting about the amount of gigs we have next week, something to that extent. If I'm not working myself, we have lessons every weekend.
It's be your Mocha Jumbies that do raps?
Some.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, but this last one was the last one was the first one that had Mocha Jumbies.
Right.
They had before.
RABZ 3 had Mocha Jumbies,
Okay.
but for some reason we never really got to get them back for whatever.
Right.
Yeah, mess
I
up.
know I saw them before.
But this one had, I think the most we've had, we had 2 Mocha Jumbies from, I cannot remember the
Biznat.
Biznat?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were a South group.
Nevin Bayo was actually one of them, you know. One of the
Interesting.
friends. Yeah, Nevin Bayo was a drummer. I didn't even know he was a drummer.
It's a pretty good
So there
one
were
too.
2 of those that was branded out by Nubria. They were sponsored by Nubria. And then I think you had 2 or 3.
I had 3.
Yeah, 3.
So they worked out with me and
Yeah.
yeah, I would
still
do
talking on the weekend. What else your weekends look like? I feel they're more crazy than your average
We
weekday.
start bumper on the Saturday night.
some type of party will come up at some point.
That you have to.
Every weekend you go to a party.
Nah, not every weekend. Every weekend
Maybe
for
every
sure.
other weekend.
Maybe every other weekend.
Right.
And our friend, a lot of the committees that I'm on to, I would assist in some type of way. So it's like if we had a setup for something, the Eve way, I don't forget. Like I helped with Sizzler concert that went yesterday.
Okay.
All the pans you see in the
This 2 o'clock, avec.
all the pans you see in the backdrop. If you watch any of the videos, yeah, like my pans. I had to like go and
Right,
drop it.
right.
I probably had to go there and pick it up now or go back tomorrow at some point and move it. So like I'll help a whole bunch of different things. My Sundays are mostly still training.
Yeah.
We have some type of workshop and then we train to keep our personal still working level up if we don't have some type of event to go to. And this is where people are seeing
So you have no downtime.
no. There's people that see my party and like the other day was a Juve fete. And I was in the Juve. Yeah.
When he looks like he's having fun.
Nobody
he's
saw
working.
nobody saw the 2 hours at the start of the party that I was walking stills.
Right.
I just railed off what I do. So when I done walk stills, I ended up.
Right.
I vibing. Even this season's carnival gone.
But you look like you just party
Edson so
too.
walk the stairs and say, yeah, I gone. Bye.
I vibe.
After the weigh-in,
Going home.
the second I weighed in, I left immediately.
Tell me he went to the weigh-in, right?
Immediately.
I was like, where the weigh-in was Tipsy Ivis. I said, he didn't take a little lime. I said, you see Tipsy Ivis? I didn't see nothing. Inside of Tipsy, I went home.
You know why I went up after the weigh-in? We was in Tipsy. We went for food. And then I read you can chain me up till I'm easy. It's not even chain up. I want till I'm.
Get him to fight in a ring easy.
Or so we end up
Enough alcohol.
we end up at XIV Lounge, the whole Jaiso team, and we was just liming. I took it, we jumping around, getting stripping. I was just out, and men watching me. You know how to fight tomorrow? I'm like, yeah.
You look, I didn't see him.
That was like you need to give him specific instructions. But you would have to
Grab
give
your
him,
ass.
if you had given him the instructions,
I would
he would
drag
have,
your rope.
if he had told you leave immediately after the weigh-in, you wouldn't have listened. You'd have.
I would have.
Okay.
But you see, that's the thing too. I was wearing 2 hats that night. I was trying to
Yeah, and you have all kind of thing going on. Yes.
No, stop me.
Yeah, and it can only be so good at stuff if it is your attention is split 4 different ways, 5 different ways. You know, I always tell people, and I had to tell somebody this the other day too, if it is you have more than 4 commitments, just drop whatever is underneath your bottom 4. Underneath, because unless you're doing your top 4 things, and I know this from experience, everything is gonna just fall down and crumble because you're paying too much attention to too many things at once.
Yeah.
And it's just
So you can't pay enough attention to
at the
right
end of the day, it's not none of it's gonna work. You need to pick like your top 3 or 4 things at most, and that's real stretching it. And be good at that alone.
I think Rio telling us to wrap
I
it.
forget the performance thing.
Yeah.
As the shows, yeah.
Right.
And then performance mean practice for performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like tomorrow, I have a show on the 14th and we have rehearsal tomorrow, Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah.
And that's like 7 to 9. So that means I got to reach home, organize something from Jaiso,
something,
eat, take a nap maybe, hit rehearsal, and then, prep for school tomorrow, the next day. So it's just always go. And then we'll say to my grandmother, mother call, hey, I need so and so. All right.
So right, we have family obligations falling in as well as things that you want to do. For
The reason I'm asking about your schedules is because I know it was heavy.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially with adults, they feel like they just don't have enough time to do things. They say things like, I hear this all the time, I don't have enough time to train consistent, so I'm not going to start as yet. Or they have plans they want to start and they just wouldn't initiate them because they don't feel like they have enough time to do it, and they have a lot less things on their schedule than all of us here, right?
Yeah, no, true.
And I just wanted the viewers to hear the kind of schedules people do have, and
They're still making things happen.
And they're still making things happen. At the end of the day, I sure you just be real tired. You just be real tired. I just be real tired. And you have to kind of decide, how much you want to be able to accomplish and achieve.
Yeah.
And make it happen.
You have to make a decision to it. You can't do everything, but you'll make time for what you want to do at the end of the day. So you have to choose.
Yeah. Is there what's the name of the Instagram page people could find you at?
Find us at Jaiso Network, Jaiso Network. You have Jaiso Mokos and then Jaiso the band.
All right. You also that we might be in danger.
Of course.
You already know what I'm talking about. I'm like, people always just wonder what the Coast Guard and the Army doing, because we didn't really have any true enemies. But I guess a month ago I saw the first thing. There was a guy like on a boat, and he had a Trinidad flag, but he's like a Venezuelan guy, and he was saying there was some kind of quote he had where he was saying that the Venezuela's coming to take back Trinidad or something like that. Yeah. And I was just like, okay, bypassed, right? And then I was like, all right. I had wondered about the possibility of it before. And then they had the group of Trinidad militants who were found by the Venezuelan government trying to destabilize the country. You all saw that piece?
I saw that part, yeah.
What do you think about that whole situation?
Horse? Why? What are you doing there? We too small to be over there trying to do foolishness.
So my first thought was really that it had to be a lie. Because why would we try to do that?
Yeah.
And then why would Trinidadians try to do that with such a small population, such a small military force or whatever?
It's not about the size of Trinidad. It's about the location of Trinidad.
No, but why would Trinidad trying to do it? Because they don't have the
that part I don't believe.
Maybe is it based on the first part of the story? Maybe it's propaganda.
Yeah.
They could be like, oh, well, look what we find.
Exactly.
No, we should come and
right. And
so it's like, how the US is create excuses to go into people's country.
Plant excuses.
Yeah, they've been experiencing a similar type of attack from the US. So they just learn from their oppressors, and they've done maybe the same thing. Now, my thing about Trinidad is that we have been known to be a very strategic island, a hub for the illegal trafficking of
things,
guns, drugs, people, and if you're smart, you would want control of Trinidad.
Yep.
And so I'm not surprised.
So you think it's you think it's unlikely that Trinidad actually attacked?
Yeah.
And that
we don't. We
is most likely.
go attack.
Oh, what's yet? I mean, I don't know all the political stance here, but I think Anti-Cam's trying to play El Salvador right
No,
now.
but you could only do that if you know you have a particular backing.
Yeah, well, which is where my discourse comes, because we are ants compared to them. Like, we are going.
Hence the reason why
Yeah.
I don't believe that we were the initiators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We like peace. We don't want nobody come here and do nothing. We like to stay in the corner and watch what's going on from far and be in our little safe haven. So I think it was, it's fake news. I think it was part of a bigger plan. That's just I think so. I don't believe that any Trinidadian forces were the initiators of this particular exchange.
Mr. Maduro, well, I'm sorry.
Lo siento.
So simple. I don't think I think there was a misinterpretation, you know. I don't think we actually were trying to take over your country. I think, let's take our time here. Let's take our time. I do think Trinidad is a peaceful place. We just want to party, have fun.
I wouldn't call it peaceful.
A little too delinquent, a little too disorganized, a little too what less,
Good.
right? As a nation, which is our blessing and our curse. We were talking about that earlier, right? Our blessing is that we slack. Our curse is that we slack. And as a country, to think that there's some organization or some force operating underground to try to destabilize Venezuela, which is like 105 times bigger than us.
Yeah.
It's kind of very far-fetched. And how? How are we doing it? How are we doing it when their population they way outnumber us?
Now, the thing I always look for at least when I interact with people as well, is what is your motivation behind doing
Why? Exactly.
Before I
How
can
and
even
why?
believe that, it has to make some sort of sense.
And that does nothing for us. It does
Yeah.
nothing. We benefit by having a peaceful alliance with Venezuela. We've always benefited from it. That's why we never kick up our fuss when it's had 1 million Venezuelans that storm Trinidad. We're like, yeah, okay, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Only right there is more only than us, right? And we will live peaceful.
I was real feeling it around that time, 'cause my last name is Garcia, my whole heritage is so and it is
You
what they
felt
treated me so. No, I didn't feel good. I was like, damn.
We also can't
I was like, what the hell?
exclude that a lot of Trinidadians go to Venezuela for work, and it's always been an alliance. It's not like a fight, but with the political restructure taking place in the US, all kinds of things are happening. Right, and you never know if it is what is the US that planned that information to destabilize the connection between Trinidad and Venezuela.
Yeah, you
Because
really have
Cam's
no idea.
already aligned herself with
Yeah,
the
but
US,
so,
so you don't know what's going on.
You ever saw a show called The Boys?
Yeah.
I find that gives you a real.
Really boys energy.
That gives yes. I find that gives you a proper in-depth analysis of what goes on behind the scenes with brands and businesses. Something the public knows nothing of what's going on.
Nothing. So it's. I think it's highly likely that Trinidadians were none the wiser as to what's going on. We was wait what?
Nah, we'll never
What
know
going on?
exactly what's going
We
on.
said what? No, we didn't say that.
I never said a thing.
What?
Yeah.
These are rogue elements. We don't know. We don't know.
Rogue elements. They were rogue
They can't
elements. They
represent
were
the
rogue elements.
entire
Could you imagine
nation.
being pulled into that meeting, the pirogue of whoever, Coast Guards or whatever, and they're like, yeah, so we need you all, the 6 of you all, to go into Venezuela and run this mission.
Just start doing things. Nah.
No. I doubt. I can't believe that there was an actual organized mission. That,
I think that there are more Trinidadians who want to destabilize Trinidad than who want to go and
Remember that whole
fight
thing when he was waiting
Venezuela.
for the war, boy? That whole thing where everybody's like, hey, we waiting for the
We
war.
waiting for the war.
Yeah, we ready for the war.
We ready for
One big sweat.
Yeah.
I sorry.
no.
So as I say, I think it have more people that are upset with Kamala than people who are upset with Venezuela and trying to destabilize.
But you think she's handling it properly? No comment, all right. That's in the...
properly? That's a
would you handle it the same way? Because she's all guns blazing. It looks.
you see the thing is we
It's Instagram news I speaking.
we don't know what is available.
Have you seen our military parades?
What do you mean was available? What do you mean by that? What do we have available?
So in terms of so if she handling it properly, we don't know all the options or what is available to her to handle it in a particular way.
Now, to be fair, as somebody that grew up around military family, we would put up a very, very good fight. We would. In all seriousness, we just see them army men, I think linemen in fits, and we just see them linemen everywhere, and they're actually training. Like they have work to do. So, but so like
I don't know about army men. Stop it.
We have tanks.
Put up a fight, and
We do have
We
tanks.
ain't come out to win the fight, but we go back
by round 2 we gas get the ball.
we might
first round
win
gonna be
the first
strong.
day of the
We're not making it around to They
Well,
want triple
one
sit
might
down
look-
right there by
That was it.
They want triple sit down right there.
We might handle the first day of a 5-month war, and the first day we might show some, and then after that,
And
gas
the
out.
same way in which Trinidad we don't know natural disaster like that because God is our Trinity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trinidadians don't know war.
We
You don't
don't.
understand. Like I used to work on a cruise ship whole of 2023.
Yeah.
And my boss was Ukrainian.
Right.
And I had a couple Ukrainian friends. And on cruise ships, you are not legally allowed to work more than 9 months. Right?
You have to go back
You
home.
have to go home.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a Ukrainian brethren that he was on the ship when everything hit the fan. And since then, he cannot go home. So he was in this very weird
Position. Wow.
so he can't stay on the ship. So then they had to I think they did
Drop him off somewhere.
no, they not drop him like he would, but he doesn't also have our passports is a ship visa allows you is a in transit visa. So we could be in transit for like up to 2 weeks.
So you can't stay anywhere.
So he would be here 2 weeks, come back on the ship as like some kind of provisional guest for a little bit, then they'll put him back somewhere for the 2 weeks.
Right.
Wow.
And then he was talking about, like there's a whole generation that was just wiped out.
Yeah.
And he said it, I don't want to say he said it so casually,
But
the way in which he said it, like our realities are not the same. And I couldn't understand like,
you can relate to it.
no, there was no way I could have related. And I was like, I hear what you're saying, but like I cannot understand, I cannot comprehend what you just say.
Yeah.
I
You can't understand. So it's full of
I
sense.
cannot comprehend what you just
Can't even
said.
envision.
And I was like, no, we do not know war. We cannot know war.
Yeah.
We are not in a place, or we're not going to be mentally ready.
And Trinidad will not
We know
know.
petty crime.
And we will-
Because God is a Trinity.
God is a Trinity
The
and we will not
Venezuelans
know.
will see that.
Say we will not
And they
know
would say,
hurricane
we're
and
going to
thing.
leave Trinidad alone.
Oh, we get hope.
I supposed to go to Venezuela in September.
True.
Oh no.
I have to talk to my friend because, like, yesterday that wasn't the scene.
I don't know it.
You also the clip of the Venezuelan news
No.
where they was talking about
No.
how Kamala's response.
They talked about it.
Yeah, boy, they talk about it like how they sound when they're about to go to war.
Yeah.
It sounds like
I
that.
can ask what cause that's
He was kind of like, hey,
I didn't
watch
say
yourself for that. Like, that's how his response is basically, hey, I hear what you're saying. I see you acting up.
I can message a
You know
couple
what
of
is-
really
you know
feel
what
what's
is-
this going on.
Pat down.
You know what
Before
is-
I had to show you how to pat
You
down.
know what is fight. You know what is fight. We really don't. The nation does not want this fight.
Every creed and race doing this.
Come on, let me hug.
We don't want the fight. We like the rapers and say, relax.
Venezuela, give me a hug, please. Let's hug it out.
It had to be a bluff. I don't think she could actually seriously think. We can,
What kind of bluff is
We don't know what conversation she had with Trump, and nobody
No, we
cares
care
about
about Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Oh, okay.
You understand what's going on? So that's why I say, although we are a dot and we don't get our
that-
position.
I hear what we
is
need all it
important.
again a fight with Venezuela and then we will come in and then we go
Exactly.
jump in and
Because they
save all
always
them.
need an
I don't know. Who
excuse to
knows?
come and
Who knows?
save
Just
people.
want to storm.
What was it called? It was the mod reduction or the big stick policy?
Fix it.
No,
Yeah,
but
actual-
that was an actual issue term. It was that. Like they would,
The big
She taking about an Xbox.
so we don't know. Trump could already say, "Hey, here we're going on. Just go and lash that man real
Yeah,
hard."
I want to
and when he
go
started,
inside.
when he started to
Accompany.
Yeah. I go jump in and save.
my big stick, save you.
No, we could get real oil off.
It could all be part of the big,
Yeah,
beautiful.
We really
What do you call it? The big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, boy.
It could be all
That real
part of the
dirty
big,
fur.
beautiful bill.
We really
That
do
real
not know.
dirty.
And you know what kind of making me, because I also lived in America for a little bit. what kind of making me lean to that side of things, that it might be kind of true, is the fact that you're pushing this all rights to bear arms vibe. You're pushing this almost school to prison pipeline is what you're looking to push. And as an educator, no, I don't think you should just treat them as criminals. No. Don't. It has so many other steps that we could take.
It's so strange because that's the same person who had rallied for education for all, and she started the system with pushing every single child, whether you pass or fail SCA exam, that you will be placed in a school, and so it's just very contradictory.
So maybe
I think somebody has bought the opinions of our
yeah.
Someone has bought those opinions. Those are paid for opinions.
Some orange head whispering in their ears. I just do these things. Just go and lash that man. I go come and see me.
Yeah.
Yes. I just called our Prime Minister. Close pin. Yeah.
Okay, watch it. Sponsor this podcast. Anti-cam.
But yeah,
don't let Venezuela
fully agree with you. I don't think I heard anybody really address the whole school and if you have a violent student, go straight to jail issue. But yeah, I completely agree with you. There are too many.
Your fault, Kamla. You were supposed to understand that it is the education system that is failing the youth of this country, and that's a whole other podcast. If it is the education system, cannot take into consideration that not everybody learns in the same way, and not everybody can be schooled or tested in the same way, and not everybody is part of the ecosystem in the same way. Yep. If you don't understand that and create a system that could facilitate that, we will always have problems. We'll always have people who are not going to succeed academically.
Pay your teachers. It is
that too.
It is difficult. It's hard. It's hard.
Oh, that too. Pay them what? Not just pay them what they worth.
And give us the resources. A lot of few of my schools are in focus schools. Is what you call them. We didn't have no instruments. We didn't have this, we didn't have that. The children coming from a community, a rough community, with rough parents. I come in and try to get you to sing some David Rudder song, and I have standard trees, let me know they none that singing thing. They none that bad man. They none that.
Yeah. They didn't eat breakfast and lunch.
No, they're not studying you on la.
Yeah.
Well, I reached his work late at time. Like 9:30. A man not reaching in here to go and grab a box lunch breakfast. And I started my class and he was like, "So I could eat her." I said, "Yeah, how would I know?" I don't want to say, "No, you can't." Nah, eat.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with this man. Yeah. So I had So the education system, it's difficult, and it going to, that's such a harmful direction that she's looking to take there. And I asked my moms earlier, I was like, the prisons in Trinidad, are they state owned or are there some type of private investors type situation going on?
It's half and
That's a good question.
No, because
I guess one of my concerns with politics and what I used to think I really wanted to go in politics, but I feel like, especially in Trinidad, the parties and the people who speak end up having to change what they believe in and what they voice to the thing that is popular
to get votes.
It's not just what's popular. There's a system in place that is outside of who's in power. There's a system in place that's benefiting certain powerful key players who are making the money in this country. And regardless of what your ideas are for change, regardless of what your ideas are for reform, you're going to meet up those people when you get the power. And you have to serve them. You might be able to they will give you allowance and they will give you rope to do certain things. But the way the system is right now is benefiting them. So you're not going to get no drastic changes.
But what I would think is that I feel like the same thing with the education and violence. I feel like a lot of people in Trinidad like that rhetoric. Yeah, whoever violent in school, the people who would be more
until
vocal,
it's your child.
The people who more vocal would say they agree with it. A lot of people okay with that the sound of those people going to jail, and I never wanted to be compromised.
They're out of touch with
it. With modern, a lot of people out of touch with modern schooling and education and psychology, whatever. But if you realize that the a small group of people believe that, hey, these people need actually more resources and they need smaller teacher to class ratios and all that. And you know that, but the majority of the voters do agree with that. Do you then have to like compromise what you believe in to make sure that you have enough votes, to make sure that you have enough finances, to like make sure the machine running? And yeah, so that was something that worried me about ending up in that kind of position where you'd have to...
Let's say I am an illegal arms dealer. However, I own some very big, influential company in our state's revenue, right? So my side hustle is guns. And if I have nobody to sell these guns to, my legitimate business is probably going to fall apart.
That's like what happened with styrofoam. I think they were trying to eliminate the styrofoam packaging from Trinidad.
And then they stopped doing it. They were trying to, and then they meet up with a certain level of resistance, and then they, all of a sudden they stop fighting it. Right? It's because whoever bringing in the styrofoam or manufacturing the styrofoam say, hey, whoops, you messing with my flow, because this might be the business that is cleaning my money, right? So you can't come and mess with this. And so it's many different levels of what is taking place. And that's why I tell you, Trinidad is a very strategic hub for illegal activities. And we might pretend that our government is not involved. It is very much involved, because I know for a fact
I don't think anybody pretending that, you know.
No, they pretend it to the outer world, right? No. To the average citizen, they act like we don't know what's going on. But so one thing that really drove this point home to me a few years ago, I can't name names and I can't call situation, but I had a friend that was working on the port, and she passed by this container and heard some noises coming from inside the container, and went to the superiors to get them to check the container. And when they opened it up, there were dozens of women not speaking English inside of this container. And the superiors told them, close that up, that's not your business.
True.
And you were forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement to never speak about this again. So obviously my friend who told me broke this non-disclosure agreement, right? But she no longer works there. Right? And to know that that order came from higher up and that you force your employees to comply with this means to me that there's somebody else calling the shot. It's not the government. It's somebody.
You see, that's the thing. The public wouldn't say it, you know. And that's why I ask if you ever seen the boys, because like from their universe, we see it as the viewer, but there's a lot more people pushing the pieces than what you really see. And that's exactly what you're saying there.
Exactly. So we have an idea that our government lazy and they don't do what they're supposed to do. But the thing is, they might have gone in there with all the intentions of doing right by this country and have been blocked.
Yeah, I feel like if I need to go in politics, I have to have bank and a little army. So army of people.
You have to have protection. And that is why a lot of politicians, like for instance, Winston Dukaran, he was a very intellectual man. He had a very interesting economic layout for how to stabilize and get out of debt. And he went in, and when the People's Partnership was elected, he went in with all these hopes and dreams. He sell it to the nation. And the thing is, he believed that he could have made those changes. And then he became as quiet as a lamb. You never hear him again, and then he bow out. And when it had re-elections, he just say, I don't want no part. Why? Why? Because he realized I can't do what I was
planning to do.
He was like a goldfish jumping
and what
into
I
a shark
could see actually help this country. I can't do it. And my genius now goes to waste because there's somebody else who wants it to stay exactly as it is.
Yeah.
And they're spending the money for it to stay exactly as it is. So
I think we're good there.
I think I could understand.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank our sponsor, Synapse Medical Services Limited, who is invested in Edson Breedy Experience, sharing these conversations with interesting people, these candid conversations. Synapse Medical Services Limited focuses mostly on neurological medical conditions like headaches, back pain, seizures, strokes. So if you are experiencing any of these kind of conditions, you could look for them on Facebook, Instagram, and you can get top tier, high quality medical service at different hospitals across Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah.
Bye.
Welcome to the Edson Breedy Experience.